Can I try?
Yeah, but it should be.
But I think
it says bad right now, but we gotta.
But is it? Oh, it is streaming.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I just wasn't understanding what you meant.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
But do you want me to try and make it better?
Yeah, let me just make sure that they can hear us. Would you all let us... Oh, yep. Sound.
Okay.
Can I try?
Yeah, but it should be, so...
Yep. I just turned off.
Oh.
Never
mind.
Okay, did you want to try to do something else?
I was just going to see if I could make it a higher quality.
Okay.
Here, I'll even put you there. I'll let you do that.
That's me.
Okay, so it says that. So I'm going to see if I can get it to... Let's see if we use the hardware, if that fixes anything.
Fixes the stuff. And then show... Oh, that's right. We just wanted to check the stream status.
Yeah, let's see if we're still... Okay, here we go.
Hi!
Oh my
it's
God,
not bad quality.
Okay. Well, I'll just take it back to what it was then.
Okay.
Take it back. There you go.
Yay!
It was that the computer needed updates, and we were dumbs.
Yeah. The computer was bad. Okay, I think everything is working now. Computer needed updates. We were dumbs.
Yeah.
To repeat Bryan. So it wasn't any of the software we were using for once. It was literally just that the computer wasn't recognizing
the microphone.
We were just sitting here, like, singing into the computer until we finally got notifications that the microphone was picking us up. So, hello everybody. Hello all 65 of you. I'm going to tweet that we are live now, since it took us half an hour. We can share and make sure people know that we're live.
Plus, would it really be a Problems of a Book Nerd stream if it started on time without problems?
Right?
This is the kind of mixed quality your viewers have come to love.
Hang out with me and Bryan while we de-stress and chill.
It's really great that your de-stress and chill stream started with such high stress.
Actually, I really wasn't that stressed about it. I feel like I've done enough live shows at this point that the stress level is lower when it doesn't immediately work.
Yeah, you've just come to expect it.
I've come to expect just really shitty quality streams at all times. So, how is everyone? I've been kind of following the chat while we fixed stuff. But I haven't seen as much as I would have liked to. I know that a bunch of people have been in here talking about social distancing and quarantine.
The movie?
Yeah, Quarantine the movie. Currently, Washington State is more social distancing than, like, required quarantine, but I'm feeling like that might change soon.
I don't know how many are, how many states have our limitations on group sizes, though.
Yeah, some people might have different requirements when it comes to, wow, I am really behind in this stream. Let's see. There we go. some people probably have different requirements as far as, like, group sizes and restaurants that they can go to. Our limit is currently no more than 50 people in a space, I think.
Yep.
No more than 50 people, and
it has to follow sanitation regulations.
Sanitation regulations are a must. All restaurants are takeout only.
Can you pull up OBS real quick?
Yeah.
Just have a theory about something. No. Okay, never mind.
No?
Never mind.
Let's see. I'm drawing a portrait of the coronavirus as a tyrannical emperor. That's Anna.
Nice.
We would love to see the portrait when you're done, Anna.
Anna is the last, like, outsider we'll have interacted with.
Yeah, Anna.
For the rest of our life.
For the rest of our life, the last people we will have seen are Anna and Sean. That we know, at least. Like, to be fair, I suppose we saw a couple people at the store, but friends. We'll never see friends again. I'm kidding. We'll probably see you again. Quarantined. Yeah, Washington State is a mess, so it is wild that there aren't more intense regulations. I'm seeing a lot of people say limits of 10 people, which is insane. 10 people? My god. I have another stream I'm watching, but I wanted to pop in real quick. Oh, what other stream are you watching? Limit is 10 here. Wisconsin is set up to 10.
Regardless.
Yeah.
You should still be able to see the chat.
Yeah. Closed. We're at 0 in San Francisco. Yeah, that tracks. I remember seeing stuff for California be pretty intense. We'll see each other when we're grizzled and battle-scarred.
Yeah, nice.
Perfect. We can redefine that wavelength game. We'll have a whole new set of standards to play wavelength with. I was supposed to get tested, but MN is Minnesota?
I think so. Right?
Yeah, basically ran out of tests, so now I'm just self-quarantine, even though I've had what is probably a sinus infection since mid-February. Curfew, no one out after 8 p.m.
Whoops, sorry about my phone. Tell me when that's down to like 2,500.
Oh, keep going, keep going.
Ideally, like 24.
24.
Trying to reduce our lag.
Ah, gotcha.
And then trying to find this.
Okay, let's see. Show. Because obviously the virus only comes out at night. Fair!
Oh, I can't do anything.
You can't change there.
It's currently active. Oh, we gotta turn it off.
Yeah. I think it's fine.
What does this number say here?
30.
Okay, that's what we wanted it at.
That's what we wanted it at.
Okay. For the rest of it, we're just... Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're still pretty okay. My university is all online now.
I think the only way to change any sort of delay by doing that would be to turn it off.
To turn it off and turn it on. Okay. Pretty much everything in Essential is closed in Connecticut. Is there toilet paper in any other states? I don't think
there was none.
There was no toilet paper. We went shopping yesterday to stock up and get ready because yesterday the governor of Washington, that was when he announced that they were closing like all restaurants and stuff.
Well, restaurants and bars and limiting gatherings to 50 people.
So we, I'm sure along with many other people in Washington State, took that as the sign to maybe stock up a bit more than we had. But it wasn't that bad.
It was not.
It was actually pretty chill, relatively, at the grocery store.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the people here in this Washington area, because, like, other than toilet paper, nothing else was, like, sold out.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Here, I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, other than that, nothing else is really sold out.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty proud of where we live. Like, we're hearing stuff about, like, family back in Utah where, like, rice, there's no more rice or baby formula or diapers or baby wipes. People are buying paper towels to wipe their butt with, and that does not dissolve in your toilet, so it's going to clog your pipes.
Yeah, my mom said that she was going to the store today in Utah, and all that was left was candy and dishes. So, but Utah is like...
Doomsday preppers.
Doomsday preppers. That's what Mormons do.
Yeah.
Mormons doomsday prep. They've been preparing for this since the Mormons began.
Yeah, like, the founder of that church kept telling them end of days was coming, and just keep preparing, keeping your bottled peaches ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
which is wild. Mormons should already be ready for the end days.
Right?
That's the whole point, is that their pantry should already be packed with, like, preserves and dried foods.
All this is really doing is exposing the Mormons who were not prepared. We should probably stop bashing on Mormons.
We're not bashing on Mormons.
I know.
We're just that's just how it be. We don't need to spend too much time talking about Corona if what this is going to be is an escape from stress and just chilling and talking, but I feel like I saw a tweet the other day saying that walking around town, everyone was talking about the same thing, and it was like wandering through a village in a video game and just running into NPCs. Just, oh man, did you hear about the plague? Like, it's just every single person is talking about the same thing.
Wow, I can't believe that it's come to here. I know what you mean.
So it feels weird to not talk about it at least a little bit, because...
Gotta get it out of the way.
Gotta get it out of the way!
And then we can move on to fun stuff.
Yeah! Let's see.
Like plugging our video channel.
I will, don't worry. I would have thought the Mormons would have been neighborly and not taken too much for themselves. No, see, that is the image that the Mormons project.
That's socialism.
Mormons are overwhelmingly too Republican for that.
Yeah. For the most part, Utah.
Yeah, like... Our experience is pretty Utah limited when it comes to Mormons.
Well, no, because I grew up outside of Utah.
Oh, that's right.
And Mormons that I've met outside of Utah are a completely different breed. They are super generous. They are the ones that are giving to everyone that they can. And then just the ones in Utah, because at least in my opinion, and from my experience, I've noticed that they tend to have this idea that since they're the majority, it should already be acting like them, sort of thing. Whereas outside of Utah, I've noticed that they're very much aware that they're the minority, and very much aware that they need to cooperate with their community. And I just haven't seen that as much in Utah. And of course, that could be just based on limited experience, but...
Yeah, but that's definitely been my experience of Utah Mormons, that the neighborly thing is the thing that should be happening, but it is often not the thing that's happening. Yeah. So, hi kitty, yes, Fury's here. What she loves to do is she stretches out on Bryan's lap as much as possible, tries to take up as much room as possible, and we call her Bagheera.
Because she looks like Bagheera
She looks like Bagheera. Oh, is she doing the thing? She's stretching.
Not yet.
Not yet.
She's got to get comfortable enough that she... She's got to put her head down before she becomes Bagheera.
Yeah, before she truly stretches out. This is Fury, or Furiosa, for people who don't know.
Say hi, Fury.
Say hi, Fury.
She has such bad manners. I apologize.
I love how the chat on CC's stream goes so hyper-focused whenever an animal appears. They're the most important things in our lives. Our animals are very essential.
Yeah, it's not even close. Do I grab Cece or my cat when the apartment is on fire?
The cat.
Cece should know better.
I will get the other cat.
It's your fault for being in a fire in the first place. Cat can't help it.
Oh, it looks like she's reading the chat.
There it is.
There it is.
That face when she just flops over the side of the leg.
Mm-hmm.
That's total baggy energy right there.
She is named Furiosa, after Imperator Furiosa from the Mad Max movie. A lot of people think that it is How to Train Your Dragon Night Fury.
Oh, okay. I could see that.
Yeah, which is would be similar reasons. Fury is missing a back leg, so she's named after Furiosa because Furiosa is missing an arm. But
and they're missing it at the same place.
They're missing it at the joint
right here. So while Furiosa is missing this, Fury, it's that point on her leg.
Yeah. So it would also work Night Fury because Toothless is also missing part of his tail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also, has a prosthetic like Furiosa does.
Yeah, but Furiosa has all of her tail, so it doesn't work, and I'm right and you're wrong.
No, I think she's Furiosa.
Yeah, and, I mean, we call her Fury because, like most Americans, we are lazy.
Yes, it takes way too long to say the name Furiosa.
Several seconds.
There are so many syllables in Furiosa.
Ugh.
Wish I could join y'all, but I'm still working. I wish we were closed, though, because working at a restaurant in the crisis is not so great. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry, Shadow. I know that, we've been talking about it in the patron Discord chat. If you don't know, I have a patron Discord chat.
Hashtag plug patron.
Yeah. And so we've been talking about stuff in the chat, and I know that Shadow is working, but I'm really, really sorry that you're dealing with that. I am sending so much love and appreciation to people who are still working.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'm hopefully, Shadow, that you're working takeout only, that you don't have to deal with dine-in customers, because that's dangerous.
Yeah, and I could totally see how that would be even scarier.
Dangerous in the not fun Darkwing Duck sense, but in the actual sense.
Also, if people don't know, I am doing a thing on Twitter today. I would love if people would participate. I started a hashtag, #LitCommunityJoy. I will put it in the chat just to make sure that people know what it is. And if you want to share that hashtag today, basically... Twitter seems like a really scary place right now. It's a place where I get really overwhelmed and stuck going through stuff. So Lit Community Joy is a tag that I'm doing on Twitter where we can be positive, make Twitter a positive experience. So use that hashtag and tag someone in the book community, any part of the book community. It could be authors, publicists, editors, agents, readers, reviewers of any kind. Tag them and tell them why you are grateful to have them as part of our community. I just think that it would be a really, really valuable thing to spread a little bit of joy on Twitter instead of continual panic. So if you have Twitter, it would be really cool if you wanted to share that. If you're not on Twitter, don't worry about it. If you are currently on private, don't worry about it. But if you are, like me, constantly stuck in that Twitter must-check updates all the time. I'm trying to use that hashtag as a way to be a little bit more positive on Twitter. I'm currently going back and forth between Twitter and Instagram each day, trying to do, like, interactive, fun things to make those social media places a bit more positive and a bit less overwhelming.
And that's not to say that, like, people's worry is not valid.
Absolutely not.
It's very valid, and we're not trying to, like, I'm assuming you're not trying to, like, ignore that. It's just to also create a space and create like a silver lining.
Yeah.
That since people have this time and since people have this energy that they can devote towards that anyway, why not add some positivity? Yeah.
Yeah. That's always kind of my take on everything. So, yeah. If you want to do that, I will be doing other stuff on Instagram and Twitter every other day. I have some other ideas. It's just, if you're on there. Yeah. Let's see. My girlfriend works at Tim Hortons and it can't close because a lot of people in our community use Tim Hortons for hot food because they don't have their own kitchens. So I have both fear and pride. That's very fair. And like I said, like, those are the people, especially who are not only still working, but still working to improve a community. Those people are so incredibly valuable. So it's really overwhelming, but also, you know, good that people are getting the food that they need.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What are you reading, Cece? Did you change your TBR because of the epidemic? No. I'm just reading less because I have been so, like, hyper-focused and stressed. I have been reading... I've been reading March 3rd releases. That's technically a vlog that I haven't shared anywhere, so special little insider look at my content. I've been filming a vlog reading March 3rd releases, and it's just really hard to focus on what I'm reading right now. So, what am I? I'm currently reading now Remembrance by Rita Woods, which was my patron-chosen book last month. I've just been having a hard time staying focused on it. I'm reading I Know You Know Who I Am by Peter Kispert, which is the short story collection that I'm working on, and since I've been having a hard time focusing, I started a thriller last night, hoping that that would kind of redirect my thinking energy. So I'm reading The Only Child by Mai A. So, and hoping that, like, a thriller gets me reinvested in what I'm doing.
Can you people on the stream hear Cora snoring over here? Because it's loud.
It's loud.
She a loud girl.
She loud. Here, I don't think... There she is.
Oh, they can... Yeah.
There she is.
She snore.
She snore. Right there, I think. Are you going to do more Harry Potter videos? I'm totally looking to your input on Goblet of Fire and the other last books. Yes, my Goblet of Fire vlog is totally filmed. I just need to edit it. And I started filming my Order of the Phoenix vlog, like, last year at some point, and just moving completely derailed my reading plans. So...
The lesson is never move.
The lesson is never move. I mean... To be fair, we did move somewhere and then had that immediately become the center of a epidemic in the United States.
Yay, Washington.
Yay, Washington.
Like, but really, yay, Washington. Like,
yeah.
Washington's great. It's just...
It's just, it feels like exactly something that would happen to us.
Uh-huh. Whoever's running this Truman Show experience, if you could just... Chill a bit...
But yes, I'm working on it. I just need to edit Goblet of Fire, and I think once I edit that, it will bring back my motivation to get back into rereading the books, and I can get back to posting those. Can you do a video similar to the one in the bookstore with challenges? Yeah.
Yeah, CC.
Bryan really wants to do another one. I want to as well. Like, it's not just a Bryan thing.
But especially
a Bryan thing. No, I want to do another one. I just have so many books right now that I don't have room for them all, and so also going to a bookstore right now is...
Yeah. But, like, once this all, like, clears up,
we will do another one.
A great way to get out there and reintegrate.
I think that would be really fun. I do wish that we'd done it before everything in the world shut down, but now we'll just have to do it as soon as stuff opens up.
What? Us procrastinate? Maybe tomorrow.
No chorus snores, but so cute. Aw. Oh, Owl, how are you feeling about The Only Child? I've only read, like, the first 3 chapters, but I have, like, divided feelings. You could do a challenge involving books already on your shelves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that could be good.
Especially ones that are unread.
Yes, yeah, since I have them all on the one shelf.
Mm-hmm. It's a great idea.
Yeah. Since that thing is so packed, it would be cool. Leia and Lady are playing. Leia, that is cheating and you know it.
As soon as Lady is about to get in for a good blow, Leia just jumps up on the table.
And Lady can't get up there because she also doesn't have a back leg, but hers is missing more, and so she just can't jump.
Yeah, see, Fury was born without that part of her arm.
Yeah.
And so she has always been that way and always adapted to how to move around, how to jump. And so she's very agile and spry. Lady, on the other hand, I hope I said Fury and not Lady. Lady, on the other hand, was a stray, and she lost her back leg, the entirety of it, to a dog attack, is what they thought happened. And that's why she's named Lady, after Lady Eboshi from Princess Mononoke. Mm-hmm. Lady Eboshi was a general who lost her entire arm to a battle with a wolf. So she doesn't know how to jump as well as her. She just kind of putters along around the ground.
Yeah, someone asked in a vlog recently, like in comments, they were asking if one of our cats was limping and if they were okay. Just assume if you ever see a cat limping in our videos, it's because we have 2 out of 3 are missing some or all of their limb, like of the cats. So if you ever see Leia, the white kitty, limping, that's the only time to be concerned.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did you already do the bookshelf scavenger hunt tag? I did the Do I Have That Book challenge, but I don't think I did the bookshelf scavenger hunt, so that could work. Owl, we've read the exact same amount. I don't know, it was weird. The Only Child started out with 2 totally different characters than the book says it's about. It starts with a detective and someone who works for the fire department.
It's called a fireman.
But he wasn't a fireman. He's like an investigator of arson. Oh,
so like Patton Oswalt on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes, exactly that. And there's been an arson, the 5th one that's happened recently in the same neighborhood. And it was very odd, and the writing was really stilted. Like, every single line would include one of the characters' names. They just kept repeating it over and over and over again, which I thought was very strange, especially since neither of them are the main character. So it was only when I got to chapter 3 that the main character was actually introduced. and it was in a classroom setting, and I'm always a little iffy about a book starting in a classroom. I feel like that's so info dumpy, and it helped that it was a, like, criminal psychology classroom, so it felt a little bit like Hannibal, but it wasn't just that it felt like Hannibal, they called attention to it. Like, the woman's students called her Hannibal. Clarice.
Oh, okay.
Because she went to an FBI course one time, and they're in Korea, and they're like, oh, that's the same as being Clarice from Silence of the Lambs. So, I don't know. I'll have to see how it goes. I have mixed feels.
Yeah, classrooms as a trope, like, especially in movies, really bother me, because there's always a teacher like, who could tell me why our entire book or movie is about this thing without us needing to set it up?
Yeah.
And one person, is it because of this? No! And then the smart person, it's because of this and this and this. You know, in 1853, after the fall of man, there was a spaceship that flew here, and we fought the founders to destroy America.
That's exactly what it is like.
Yeah.
And it was weird because this was criminal psychology, that, like, all of the stuff they were saying, you know, I'm into media about serial killers, so, like, all of it is covered in Mindhunter, which is one of my favorite shows. I'm not ready to acknowledge that yet. But, like, it was the last class of the semester, and all of a sudden, this professor is talking about, like, the signs of a serial killer, and whether or not you can count early warning signs as being the sign of a serial killer, and I was like, this was your intro to criminal psychology, and your final lecture of the semester is about showing them crime scene photos and talking about serial killers? That's strange.
What did they talk about for the rest of the semester?
Right?
Every day, the professor came in with a hangover and showed him a film.
Like,
yeah. Like they do in elementary school.
Like they do in elementary school. Everyone loves how much thought was put into the cats' names, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Being so nerdy and cute.
Bagheera's going full long.
Bagheera is going full long, if you can see her. She's got one arm on either side of Bryan's legs. It's very cute. Yeah, she can't even be in the frame anymore.
That's fine.
I'm looking...
barely in the frame, and I'm dealing with it.
Oh,
because I'm using my phone, and that's rude.
I can turn it away from you.
No, that's fine.
I'm looking forward to your YouTube original so much. Can you tell us about the process? Like, how did they reach out to you? How was the filming? Yeah, I'm actually filming a vlog, talking a bit more about the experience. I did a vlog update where I was watching, right after I watched the trailer, and then I filmed a whole reaction video to a video that will be up on the 19th. Oh, I need to get that to patrons. Sorry about that, patrons. But I did a one-on-one interview with Jacqueline Woodson, and they sent that to me so that I can upload it onto my channel on the same day as the YouTube original, and I filmed a whole reaction video watching that. It was really overwhelming. Like, I'm very, very excited for people to watch it. I have been dying to tell people about it. So I flew out to film that at the beginning of February and didn't tell, like, anyone.
I didn't even know. She just disappeared one day.
Okay, Bryan knew. And my mom and my sister knew. Like, I told my family. And I flew out one day, like, late in the evening. The next day, I went to set and I filmed. We were there for, like, 6.5 hours. And then the next morning, I flew back out to Washington. So it was a really quick turnaround, really quick flight. That flight to New York, I took, like, a week and a half after I got the initial email. Like, everything, the turnaround was really, really fast. And I know that that is possibly a unique experience, I've been talking to Jesse from Bow Ties and Books. They were in the last BookTube Originals episode, and I know that they filmed their episode like in November, and it went up in February, so I don't know how often they're filmed that early in advance and how often they're only filmed like a month or so in advance, but we definitely had different experiences. Let's see. Let's see. But I'm really, really excited. I'm excited for people to watch it. I thought it was a really cool experience. We had a really, really amazing conversation. I know that I talk about being gay on my YouTube channel like every day.
You're gay?
I know. I'm a lesbian. It's gonna be okay. But I find it very strange that there is going to be a video up on YouTube, on the YouTube original page, where I talk about coming out. Like, that just feels so much bigger.
Yeah.
as a coming out.
It's a spotlight.
It's a spotlight. But I know that they included that question because part of Jacqueline's answer was in the trailer. So I know that they are going to include that question in the video.
What if it's like Invisible Man, though, and they just put a bunch of random stuff in the trailer, and then it's not in the release afterwards?
I mean, that would be pretty wild. Like, can you imagine? Like, they specifically wanted me to come up with a personal question.
And then they're like, psych.
Fuck it. We're not even going to include it.
They probably did that.
But yeah, that's in 2 days.
That's today?
No, that's in 2 days that goes up.
Okay.
You'll actually be here. You can watch it with me.
I know, yeah. I was supposed to be in Utah doing some sort of conference thing, and instead they sent us... Well, not sent us.
Yeah.
They just kept us where we are, and then they sent all the in-office workers home. So,
yeah. So Bryan was not going to be here for the YouTube original. He was going to be here for my birthday, which is on Saturday.
Crap.
Yeah.
Now all the stores are closed. Ugh, you're getting nothing.
It's a good thing you already told me that you got my gift a while ago.
You don't know that. That's a secret.
But yeah, me and Ebony and Denise are going to hopefully do a video chat and watch the episode. Who are the other YouTubers in the video, Team 2 Moms. So hopefully that morning, that afternoon, they have kids, so whenever works for them, since we don't have kids, we will be able, hopefully, God, imagine, hopefully we can video chat them and watch the episode. I saw someone ask if they had to pay to watch the YouTube original. No, you do not. It will be totally free on the YouTube original channel. Like I said, I'll upload a video on my channel and link to the full episode, and all will be absolutely free.
As long as you have an internet connection. Right?
Yes, yeah, as long as you have an internet connection. Oh my god, is that a thing you can do? Look, someone supported me. Oh my god! Thank you, Kiara!
Your first ever donation?
Yeah!
Donation?
What? Oh my god, Kiara, thank you so much!
That's so nice!
That has never happened before. I really appreciate it. Let's see, I feel like I missed something up there. What is Bryan quoting? Oh, during your classroom thing. You weren't quoting anything specific. The starting a book or a movie in a classroom.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't quoting anything specific, but like, an example that comes to mind is like The Giver.
The Giver. The book we read by John Scalzi, The Collapsing Empire.
Yeah, whenever you get a bunch of like kids together, I feel like there was also a scene in like Serenity that had that as well.
So.
It's just a sort of lazy plot device. It's lazy in my opinion, but it's a plot device used to get a lot of world building done very quickly. And that is used a lot, especially in like book adaptations or film adaptations of books. To just be like, who knows why the colonies were created?
Yeah.
And be like, it was because Earth was polluted and we had to move away. You know, like,
oh, great! Now we have all of our world building. We don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And Owl, no, technically, Mindhunter hasn't been canceled. It's just been delayed indefinitely.
Definitely, so that the director can work on other projects. And he released all the actors from their contracts. So that they can work on other things while he works on other things. So they could come back together. Hopefully
it could.
They do, because it's an amazing show. But it could also go the other way.
Yeah. Is Bryan a reader?
I've never seen The Reader.
I've never seen The Reader.
Kind of. I have a couple of disabilities that make reading very difficult and laborious for me mentally. And so I prefer to get story input through audiovisual media like movies and television. I mean, the closest that I've done to like reading recently has been like graphic novels. And I used to read a lot as a kid and as a teenager, before my disabilities started sort of like taking over, and becoming as bad as they are. And I always enjoyed it. I read really trashy stuff, like really trashy sci-fi thriller things. A lot of Dean
Koontz.
There's one of the last books I read that I really loved was called Guns of the South, and it's a garbage alternate history rendition of the Civil War where time travelers come back with AK-47s. It's a ride.
It's a ride.
But like, I don't know. I answered your question.
Yeah. So a lot of times if I'm reading, I just like to explain the plot of whatever I'm currently reading so that we can talk through like the world building and how it works. Because Bryan's an editor, so I think we both have that mind of like wanting to dig into something and fix it or tweak it.
Make it better. Yeah. And so I love hearing, like, I read, but it's vicariously.
Yeah, exactly.
I read by proxy.
Have you read any comics recently, or do you have any comic recs?
I
know you really love Kingdom Come.
I love Kingdom Come. I'm a big fan of OG, like, Justice League members, so Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. And so I really like reading those, but so my tastes tend to lean towards the superhero stuff. A really great series that I read and I'm always looking for copies of is called Rising Stars. I believe Dark Horse published it, or there's another like third person. It was a different publisher than the main like DC
and Marvel.
And it's a unique take on superheroes. Basically, there's this event, this like large explosion in the sky, and any woman who was pregnant when that happened, their children are born with powers. And they all grow up with those powers, and then they find out as adults that someone is going around killing these superpowered individuals, and they want to find out why. Another really good series, I think, is Squadron Supreme.
Okay.
There was an old villain group in Marvel called Squadron Supreme, and basically they were Marvel's riff on the Justice League. So like there's Ultraman and he's Superman, and there's Night Owl and he's Batman and stuff like that. And the most recent Squadron Supreme, they brought those characters back, reimagined them, gave them a lot of pathos, some really good backstory and character development, and retold that story. And it's really amazing. But if I have to say go-to favorite, it would be Kingdom Come by Alex Ross.
Yeah. Someone asked for ways to start Spider-Man. I wasn't sure if you had any. I know Owl recommended Gwen Stacy and starting with Spider-Gwen. I've also heard the new run of the Miles Morales comics is really good. Yeah. I don't know, like, OG Spider-Man a good place to start.
Yeah, I would say probably the most recent reboot series. I really like Ultimate Spider-Man that's set in that Ultimates universe, because it's closer to the the new movies, like Spider-Man Homecoming style of Spider-Man. So it's still Peter Parker, but less extreme. Like there was this whole thing back in the day called the Clone Saga, where everyone was a Spider-Man clone, and it kind of destroyed people's faith in the Spider-Man line, and then it's splintered into like the Amazing Spider-Man and Ultimate Spider-Man and Spectacular Spider-Man and Superior Spider-Man. So I'd say Amazing Spider-Man is a good line to follow, and Ultimate Spider-Man are good ones, but Ultimate is the most recent startup, so yeah. I might suggest that one.
Yeah, and clearly Bryan loves Cora's awake. Clearly Bryan loves Spider-Man, because all of those ones up there, that's all Spider-Man, and that's half? Is that half of your Spider-Man collection?
I have, so there's 24, I think, on that shelf, and I think I now have 37. 37. That are just Spider-Man, and then I have a whole line of Venom as well. Yeah. I'm a big fan of OG Venom, Eddie Brock. They've done a lot of strange things with it in the comics, but I grew up with the Spider-Man animated series, and that really got me into Spider-Man as a character. So I have a soft place in my heart for Peter Parker. I really like Spider-Gwen, and I really like Miles Morales as characters, but
OG Spider-Man is your Spider-Man.
Yeah, OG Peter Parker is my Spider-Man.
Yeah, and I've never read any Spider-Man comics. I think I've read a couple of superhero comics. I've read Kingdom Come because it's your favorite. I don't know if I've even, I've read Hellboy, but that's not a superhero comic. I think Miss Marvel is really the only, superhero comic that I've read.
I might count Hellboy, but it's more paranormal, mythological superhero, rather than what you think of as traditional superhero.
So yeah, I've read a few issues of the new Miss Marvel that's being released by, I think they're by G. Willow Wilson. I'm not remembering right away, but they're really good. I have a Miss Marvel Funko Pop, and I'm really excited for her to get her own show, because I think I consume superhero stories better via visual media. I mean, obviously, graphic novels are visual media, but, shows and television are how I consume superheroes better. Graphic novels, comics, aren't as much my thing, but I will absolutely read a novel about a superhero.
Yeah.
If it's not one of the established superheroes in Marvel or DC canon.
Interesting.
my passion in this world is cheesy superhero YA books.
Yeah.
But not adaptations of existing.
Sorry, Fury. Oh no!
Oh.
I've lost her. Sad times.
But yeah, I don't know. I know less. Let's see. How is the new channel going? What is your process? How do you decide what to watch? I really like it, by the way. Thank you, Babette.
For those of you who don't know,
we have a movie channel,
and it's pretty darn good.
I think it's great.
It's called What the Film.
You're shaking the whole table,
and it's got sorry, I didn't mean to go OG Star Trek on you. Yeah, it's called What the Film. Film has an exclamation mark instead of an I in it. And it was sort of a passion project that we've been planning for a while to start up. Because we like watching movies and we have things to say about them. And,
yeah, and we've wanted to start a movie channel for ages. Like a year or two now. We wanted to start it a while back, so yeah, we love talking about movies. That's like what we spend most of our time doing. So,
and we like, as far as like our process for what we choose. First we started with the Academy Awards.
The Academy Awards,
and then from there we basically were trying to just find movies that we wanted to say something about. You know, so like, what was the first one we did?
The first one we did was Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey. We were very, like, we were wondering if that was going to be good. It was getting a lot of hype, but it was also getting a lot of discourse online about whether it was just pandering to a certain population. And so we wanted to go and see that and get our own opinions on it. And we won't tell you what those opinions are so that you can watch the video.
Yeah, hooray. And like a lot of people, whenever we do videos together on this channel, like have said that you like watching us talk. You like watching us get along, which we do. Like, we're best friends, so I think we have, like... So I think, like, we get along really well, and we have fun when we're filming together.
Yeah.
And that's, like, all we do on that movie channel. It's just, Leia, I swear to God, if you knock those over again. Oh, no! No!
Yeah, so we wanted to get our opinion on Birds of Prey, and then we did what was after Birds of Prey?
The Gentleman. Yeah. And I also want to say, I totally agree with you. I don't have a problem being pandered to. Like, that was absolutely not something I was worried about going in. But I think that there's a difference in, like, quality, where we'd recently seen Charlie's Angels, and
that was pandering.
That was pandering, and not in a, like, we're making a fun movie for girls way, but in a, if you don't like this movie, you're a bad person.
And you don't like women.
And you don't like women way. And it was just, like, it wasn't fun to watch because it was so overt that it was, like, not even a movie anymore. Which I don't have. I don't know, there was just something that felt so false and fake about Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
And that was really frustrating because I love a good girl gang movie. Like, I love Ocean's 8. I love Ghostbusters 2016. I love Birds of Prey. And so to actually see that one example of what it's like to be talked down to that much in a film, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was, and like, it was very like extreme exclusionary feminism type thing. Not like turf sort of.
No.
But like exclusionary in that, like, women only, you know, you can only trust women. It just had so many like strange messages that were being very overt that I didn't. It
felt like a Feminism 101 course taught by a white woman 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's a great. Yeah,
that's the
great.
issue.
Yeah, and so, like, while I really enjoyed, like, K-Stu's performance, I'm always going to love my captain, Jean-Luc.
Oh, yeah.
And Elizabeth Banks is really great, too. And, like, the main girl,
the one who's focusing her on. The one who plays Jasmine.
Yeah, she was really good.
I loved her. I really hope that I, like, can continue to see her and stuff.
Like, her and K-Stu were the saving graces of that film.
Naomi Scott.
Yeah, and... so the rest just had very confusing character motivations and but anyway spoilers, you know, Harley Quinn didn't really feel that way. Birds of Prey didn't feel that way. And then
it just feels like a fun girl gang movie the way that the Avengers is a guy gang movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is all I want.
Yeah. And it takes itself just seriously enough and not too seriously. But anyway, yeah. And then afterwards we saw The Gentleman because we had heard some things about it, but we didn't have a set opinion on it yet, and we wanted to come up with it. And then the biggest one that we wanted to have an opinion on because we were so confused was The Invisible Man.
Yeah, and, which is our most recent one.
And I think it's our best one. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm really, really proud of our Invisible Man video. Like, I think it's really funny. I think it's fast-paced.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we get our point across really well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really proud of what we did.
And I was really surprised by The Invisible Man.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought it was going to be the worst.
I thought it was going to be the worst. No, we're not spoiling our video. Like we say pretty much at the top of the video for every video we do if we like it or if we don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just get into that. And mostly since we started, we've been doing positive reviews. So at some point we're going to have to get into some shitty stuff.
For the Oscars, there were some real just stinkers.
There were some stinkers at the Oscars.
And, we try very hard to take an objective approach in how we break down how we feel about it.
Yeah.
Trying to find the positives and the negatives.
Which is what I try to do whenever I do like my book reviews, and it's something that I've had a lot of people tell me they really value. Mm-hmm. That like I really work hard to be like, this is what isn't good, this is what is good.
Yeah. We're using our English degrees.
They are useful.
Yeah. And with that channel, we do plan to watch bad movies.
Yeah, we're gonna have a whole series on really bad movies.
And should I spoil what like? No. We're also going to be doing some like old movies too.
Yeah, we are.
Not like old movies because black and white, gross. I'm just kidding. I love old movies. But like movies from our childhood, movies that are our favorites and stuff like that. So
revisiting movies that we've loved.
Yeah, and right now our release schedule has been a little erratic just because of everything that's going on.
Yeah,
and the stress and anxiety surrounding it. But we'll get back into that.
We'll get back into it, and our video on The Good Place should be out at some point this week.
Spoilers.
They already knew that. But yeah, like, we mentioned that in our last video that we were doing that, and I'm currently in the process of editing it.
Oh, and for the most part, too, we try to stay spoiler-free in our movie reviews.
We're pretty much spoiler-free. The only one that we've spoiled is in The Good Place, and we say when we're spoiling and when we will stop spoiling.
Yeah. So if we do that with any of our movies too, we'll make sure either that it's like an old enough movie that the spoilers are not going to be like a big deal sort of thing, or we'll link to when the spoilers end.
Yeah.
So if you want to, you can jump past that and just look at our spoiler-free commentary. But so far, all of our videos are spoiler-free.
Yeah. Are you guys interested in any of the movies Universal is putting up to rent early? I think we would have been if they weren't putting them up for rent early.
I heard, too, that they dropped the price to $15.
I mean, that's good. If they were just releasing digital sooner for full price, I think that I would have totally been down for it. I would have easily purchased the Emma.
Emma, yeah.
Because I really, really want to see Emma. I definitely would have purchased that.
But, like, we are pass holders, unlimited pass holders for Regal. And it's part of the reason why, having to rent these Universal movies would be difficult.
Yeah.
Because we made the conscious choice to do the unlimited pass so that instead of paying $30 to go to 2 movies, we pay $30 to go as many movies as we want during the month. But now with theaters being closed down, it's a little more difficult. So
yeah,
we might rent one of them, but most likely not.
Most likely not.
Yeah, I would have purchased digital copies of a couple of those, I think.
I would have purchased an early digital copy of The Invisible Man to watch again, maybe in a bit. I'm still recovering. Okay, let's see. I saw someone ask about Tell Me How You Really Feel and The Summer of Jordi Perez. And I've seen people talking about it. Obviously, I've read both of them. I talk about them very, very frequently, and I love both of them. Tell Me How You Really Feel is my favorite of the two. The Summer of Jordi Perez is like... It's fluff. It's the mindless fluff that the Sapphics have been after. And that's fine. Tell Me How You Really Feel is like a truly great piece of YA fiction that I think is going to be a standout, and it's fun, and it deserves a movie, and it's great. So it just kind of depends what you're interested in. I think
it just sounds like you just said, one's this pandering piece of crap, and the other one's really good.
I love Jordi Perez. I love that book. I think it's adorable. It's just predictable.
Okay, yeah.
This is the stuff I usually get to do alone in my room, and I don't have a critic. But it's cute. I do think that one of my main issues with Jordi Perez is that it falls into the trope of the person of color love interest that doesn't actually try to understand what it means to be a queer person of color. It just sort of puts someone in there as a love interest to be counted as more diverse, and like every now and then her and her family make Mexican food, and so that's how you can tell like that she's a person of color.
Like every now and then she'll say abuelita in italics.
Yeah, and so like I think that's my biggest issue with it, and plenty of people have called out on Twitter the issue of that being the only way you include a person of color, or the person of color love interest in a queer romance. I think what's special about Tell Me How You Really Feel is that it earnestly gets into so many different parts of both of those girls' lives. Like, there is a Jewish-Mexican main character and an Iranian-American main character. They're both lesbians, and it really gets into both of their lives in an effective and beautiful way. So, yeah. Yes. Someone asked, curious why people are saying sapphic instead of lesbians. I do use sapphic if I'm not sure of the identity of exactly which of which people I'm talking about. I do think it's fair to say with Jordi Perez, they are both lesbians, and the same with Tell Me How You Really Feel. So the characters I would describe as lesbians, but, the
populations who might like them.
I would use sapphic because it just means girls who like girls. And I think that that's more inclusive of bi, pan, multi-gender attracted people. What was the last Funko Pop we bought?
I can show you. We went to Funko HQ just before it shut down. And
we bought stuff. Do you want to show that? I wanted to make coffee ages ago. I know it's 5 p.m.
Yeah, I'll show them.
Okay.
I can run this ineffectively. I'll be looking at every single comment because I don't know how to run a stream.
Perfect.
So it's time to bring down the quality, everybody. Okay, so do you want me to show off yours too?
Yeah. Well, just while I'm making coffee. So it's going to take me a minute to show all of them.
Okay, but this is what she bought. So Cece's got some of the Haunted Mansion pops. I don't think that you've been collecting all of them, but
I just have the Groundskeeper.
Okay, the Groundskeeper.
Box Lunch exclusive.
Okay, so she just has the Box Lunch exclusive Groundskeeper, but she also saw this Constance Hatchaway and thought that was worth the purchase. And then we have a new shelf. I'm gonna take you guys on a ride. We have this new shelf over here behind the fan. And we've been doing couple pops, or pops that we have two of that go together. There are 2 Forrest Gumps there that are not a couple, but it's a couple of Forrests. Yeah, Lilo and Stitch aren't a couple either, but for the couple shelf, and probably because she's been wanting it for a while, she got Ann Wheeler and Philip Carlyle from The Greatest Showman. And so that's good. I've seen The Greatest Showman once. It definitely was a musical. It's not my taste, but I understand why people like it, and I think that it's well made. So it's just not for everyone.
Happy time movie.
Yeah, it's your happy time movie.
It's my let's banish depression movie.
I get that. Yeah, I like some musicals. I'm very picky about musicals because I think that I don't know. I have this problem with a lot of musicals that they will create instances of song that are unnecessary, that are distracting from the overall story or characters or something like that. But I think that there are some really fun musicals out there. I love Moulin Rouge. I love West Side Story. I am a diehard Phantom of the Opera fanboy, and you will not stop me, Cece, despite your evil look. It's amazing, and you should learn the meaning of love.
Are you excited about the West Side Story remake?
There's a West Side Story remake?
Yeah, they posted photos a couple days ago. It actually...
I will have to see and be the judge of that because...
They actually did the thing that I always ask when movies do. They found an unknown person to play Maria, who's just a really fucking good singer.
Okay, so that we can all just meet a girl named Maria.
Yes.
That'll be cool.
And then Ansel Elgort is playing Guy, and he can sing.
Yeah.
He's a trained singer.
Yeah. That's cool.
At least it's not the Little Shop rumors.
Here, let me get Cora in there better. Yay. And then for my Venom collection, I found Deadpool Venom. He's halfway through transformation into Venom Pool. Such reflection. This is what we get for having natural light. I told you it was a bad idea. So he's going into my Venom collection. Very extensive collection there. And then I already have a Harley Quinn pop from Birds of Prey, and I love it. It's which one do I have? Yours is the caution tape one.
Mine's the caution tape. So, do you have roller derby?
No, I don't have roller derby. It's the other one.
Oh, the booby trap battle.
Booby trap battle. Yeah, with the hammer. But
with the hammer and the big yellow jumpsuit thing.
Funko released this, which is, I think, probably the best thing ever. It is the Harley Quinn. I'm going to move it over here because there's that reflection. It's her when she goes into the police station to report a terrible crime.
It's been a terrible crime.
This one. And it's
oh, bye, Owl.
Oh, sorry. I told you I wouldn't look at any comments. Those were my exact words. I will look at every single comment. So that's been our whole video. Thanks for coming.
Who's that portrait of? I hope that they are referring to the Dogface portrait.
I hope.
Is that what you're? Yep. That could be the only one. That would be Dogface portrait. It is a portrait of a dog in a suit. And it's an homage. It's an homage to Dogface painting from the Twilight series. Bella's Dogface painting that she keeps by her bed. That also appeared in the music video for. It's also in a Sia music video.
Yeah, Sia. Yeah, it's in. Is it? I'll find out.
Okay,
I'll find out which one it is.
But Dogface painting is legitimately a decoration that you may not have noticed, but it is in most of the Twilight movies. It is a random painting of a dog. And if you've ever heard of riff tracks, they basically are commentary tracks that you can play over movies. They're comedic. They're comedic commentary tracks. It's the guys who did Mystery Science Theater 3000. But they always mentioned Dogface painting, and so it was always a meme in our apartment. And then at a White Elephant party 2 Christmases ago, I got Dogface portrait, and instead of getting rid of it the way I think everyone expected us to, we said, no, we are going to mount that on our wall, and then we got a mantle, and I was like, it's got to go in the middle of the mantle. We've built our entire aesthetic for this room around Dogface portrait. It is featured prominently in every single one of our video reviews. It is. If nothing else, go sub for Dogface portrait. That painting is fucking iconic. Thank you. And apparently us quoting Birds of Prey is everything. How do you feel about... Let's see. How do you feel about Camelot? Like the city? Pretty nice. The musical. It's only a model. Oh my god. The musical. Yeah. Quest for Camelot? Oh, Quest for Camelot. Like the animated one? No. No, there's a musical of Camelot. A stage production. Like Monty Python? No. I'm probably out of the loop. Your ex-wife was in a production at school. Yeah, I've forgotten about that. I probably don't know it. For most of my life, I avoided musicals because I couldn't find quality. Like, it's one of those things where if, 1 out of every 25 things in a certain category is terrible, in your opinion, or from what you've seen, you stop trying to find, the second good thing. You stop trying to seek it out a lot of times. So I didn't watch a lot of those, and maybe I don't know if I know Camelot. I remember being bored. I've only ever seen the one production of Camelot, and it was a high school production. So I don't know how that quality stacks up. But what else? I was raised on musicals. I was raised on every kind of musical because my parents met through musical theater. So, like, I was raised by theater kids, and thus I have a very wide range of what I love. And then besides all of the traditional musical theater that I grew up loving, my ex-girlfriend was really into movie musicals and jukebox musicals, and so that totally opened my world up to all of those, and I love those as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I like most musicals. I think what I don't like is Phantom of the Opera.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that my opinion is an unpopular one, especially because, like, I enjoy watching the Gerard Butler movie adaptation, which is it's not good as in terms of an adaptation.
No.
And like, but I really enjoy I just lost her name, the girl who plays Christine in that.
Yeah, she's really good.
And I've come to really enjoy the guy's performance as Raoul. I hated him. So
I can't
much.
stand him.
I hate
That's
Raoul
the reason,
as a character too. Like,
that's one of the reasons I can't stand Phantom is because the only version I'd seen.
Let's see if I can. Yeah, you gotta move that. Okay, there is.
Don't move it down. There it is.
There's Dogface.
There's Dogface painting. It's the same one.
It's the same painting that Bella had in her bedroom. This is from Chandelier. This is from the music video for Chandelier by Sia.
Emmy Rossum.
Emmy Rossum.
Yes.
Yeah, I kept thinking Emma. I was like, it's not Emma. Emmy Rossum is great. I think she's a very underrated actress. And like, Gerard Butler did what he could with that role.
Sure.
And his range. And Luke, is it Luke? It's Luke something, right? The guy who played Raoul in it. He's the guy he's the every guy. He's the one who plays the Birdman. I'm losing my mind right now. In
Is it time for
Watchmen. It's getting close.
Okay.
It's getting close. That's why.
So
I'll find him.
Okay. Let's see. Vanessa Redgrave, Frank Nero, and the OG Dumbledore were in it in the movie version. Oh, of Camelot? Oh my god. What an adventure!
Patrick Wilson. I kept thinking Luke Wilson, but Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson.
That guy. The guy that is in everything.
The guy that's in everything. I have seen the guy who didn't like musicals. Bryan saw the end of the guy who didn't like musicals.
Yeah.
The Star Kid thing.
Yeah.
We didn't like it. I am a huge, die-hard fan of Star Kid. I have loved them for so many years, and I've seen most of their shows. I just haven't seen Firebringer, and I don't know if I'm interested in seeing Black Friday, because it's, set in the same universe as the guy who didn't like musicals, which I didn't really like. But Trail to Oregon is amazing. I love Trail to Oregon. It's so funny. And we love Holy Musical Batman.
Mm-hmm.
We've cosplayed Holy Musical Batman before. That is the level of our passion about that Star Kid musical.
I don't know if you guys saw on the mantle, there is a Funko Pop of Batman and Robin.
Yeah, which is specifically there.
Which way do I point? There. Haha. It's over there.
Which is specifically there because we love Holy Musical Batman.
And my problem, I got spoiled on Holy Musical Batman, which is the perfect musical. And it's in my opinion the best one that I've seen from Star Kid. Mm-hmm. And so it's the opposite of when you find one bad thing in all or one good thing in all the bad things. This is the best thing.
It's the best
if you found the best thing, everything else just seems sort of like mediocre when it comes to Star Kid musicals. But.
Yes, and Twisted is my fave, and it's the one that I think of Star Kid's other musicals Bryan would like the most, and we are going
I've said
to.
That I would watch it.
Yeah, we are going to watch it at some point. I've seen it many times. I have the soundtrack. I adore Twisted.
I just realized too that I just rewatched Aladdin recently and realized that it's named Twisted because of Jasmine's description of Jafar's beard.
Yeah.
Your beard is so twisted. Yep.
Yeah. And it's great because Twisted is basically Wicked, but for Jafar. It's the villain origin story of, okay, but we have only been seeing this from the hero's perspective, and the title song is a song called Twisted, where we get to hear how a bunch of Disney movies look from the villain's perspective, and it's a really great song. It is, in my opinion, the Starkin musical that could most easily be transitioned to, like, a legit musical that people could perform. It's just really good.
By the way, if anyone's seen the new Maleficent movie, could you let me know whether or not we should be seeing it? Because I really liked the idea of reframing Disney villains in a sympathetic manner, and also Angelina Jolie is my first and true love. So she's so hot. Angie, if you're out there. No, but I thought that the first one was okay. You know, like, it wasn't anything. Yeah, it's like, it's not great. It's better than, like, The Huntsman, you know?
Which I have seen.
Like, if we're making comparisons to, like, live action Disney remakes, maybe kind of like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
But like, I don't really like the fact that Disney is just remaking the same stories in live action. And so I really like the idea of them adapting their own works into these new stories with new takes on characters and stuff. So,
like Mulan, like a reimagining, recreating.
That is the true tragedy, movie-wise, for coronavirus. Like,
we were so excited to see Mulan.
And I follow Jimmy Wong, who is in this movie as Ping. And they were so excited at the premiere, and they were so excited for that movie, and what it represents for, like, Chinese people, and just, like, Asian people in general.
To see, like, an actual, more realistic and historical imagining of the Ballad of Mulan.
So, I can't wait to see that.
Same. If they released that on Disney Plus or even somewhere else,
I would pay $20 to rent that.
I'd pay $20 to rent
I'd pay $30 to rent that. Like, it looks so good.
Yeah. And I know that Disney only put Frozen 2 on their streaming service so that we would ignore that they evicted all of the Disney college students. But, like, they should probably keep that goodwill going since there's nothing new on Disney Plus to watch. But no, I meant to do, like, a list of movie musicals I loved, because I've seen people making those lists. Fast 9 being postponed a year is a tragedy.
I love The Huntsman. That's okay, you know, like...
The Huntsman, I can see how it would be fun. It's just not my kind of, like, movie.
Yeah, one of the things that I think that I've come to realize in starting a movie review-centric channel are that there are good things to find about a lot of movies, and there are ways, like, reasons to like movies, or there are reasons why other people like movies that you don't like, typically, and that it's more complex than just good or bad, which is, like, our biggest gripe with people that we've known, when they're like, it's just a movie, you like it or you don't talk about it.
Don't think about it.
But, like, the Joker, on our video for the Oscars, someone wrote a very insightful comment about how they thought the Joker was the best one, or maybe it was on our
Harley Quinn video.
And it's it's worth noting that, different priorities and different like world views can lead to that. So
can totally shift it.
If you liked Huntsman, good for you. Like I'm glad that you had that opportunity to enjoy that film.
Yeah, and it's weird because I think overall I'm far less picky about movies than Bryan is. I don't know, like there is like a whole genre of movies that I'm more picky about than you are, like war films and apocalypse movies.
Love me some war films and apocalypse movies.
And I know that like you can't stand jukebox musicals, and I live for them.
Yeah, I guess my biggest draw to movies are complexity of character and complexity of the human condition, and I don't feel like I get those out of those poppy fun things. Like I understand the purpose of them. Yeah. I'm just not as excited to spend my time watching that.
Which is interesting because when it comes to war movies, I'm very much like, I've seen one, I've seen them all. Like, they're all the same. Man have anger or man have sad, man fight. And
it is a lot of men with anger problems. But like, yeah, I think my draw to like war films is to look at the complexity of our past, to look at how individuals had to interact in what is normally seen as this conglomeration of just men. Like not that I'm like, oh, gotta see me some man movies.
No, right.
No, but like to see the individual in an event that is usually only expressed in terms of the population is why I think I'm drawn to war movies. Like 1917 was a great example of that.
I loved 1917. It's one of the only war movies I've like loved. Before you drop your best war movies, let me talk about, just list my favorite musicals.
Yes, go for it.
So, favorite musicals.
Did anyone recommend Maleficent? I'm sorry, I didn't see
I saw one person say she's still reframed as sympathetic in the second one. Okay. And I saw someone say they enjoyed the first one. They only saw the first one.
Okay.
So, my aunt loved the first Maleficent. Sunny, she adored Maleficent. Okay. So, yeah. Interesting take. She was really drawn to the reinterpretation of, like, Maleficent having been in an abusive and traumatic relationship. Yeah. So, favorite musicals. There are stage musicals that haven't been adapted, so I really love Wicked. I really love Matilda, the stage musical. It's gorgeous, brilliant perfection. And I really love... Oh, what other stage musicals are there?
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
There are plenty of stage musicals.
Yeah. I really love... I like the stage version of Little Shop. I've only seen it once, so I love it, but I love the movie. Les Mis is a fave forever.
As long as it's the 25th anniversary
musical. I talk about it all the fucking time. I haven't seen...
Sorry if OBS dropped out, or sorry if our stream dropped out real quick. OBS said that it disconnected. Yeah.
Is it still...
It said that... There
okay. Sorry, are we back?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I don't know what happened. I haven't seen Come From Away, but my mom and my sister did, and they loved it. I haven't seen Legally Blonde or Mean Girls, but I've heard they're great. Movie musicals. Hairspray. I've also seen the stage production of Hairspray, and I love it. Grease. I really like. I haven't seen the stage production of Grease, but like
it's
I'm
okay
right with that.
The new songs are a little strange once you're used to the movie.
Yeah, that's basic. No, I saw them do Grease live when they aired Grease live, like when they were doing this. It's the only good one. Okay. Grease live. I actually really liked when they did that.
You mean out of the live series?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, it's not the only good Grease performance.
No. Oh, I love Little Shop of Horrors, the movie, like I said. I think Rocky Horror Picture Show is really great. The Greatest Showman, I love. They're bad and terrible, but I love the High School Musical movies forever. I love jukebox musicals like Mamma Mia, the second Mamma Mia. Rock of Ages is really good.
How do you feel about Across the Universe?
Oh, I like Across the Universe.
I like Across the Universe, too.
Rent. Rent is interesting. I have very divided feelings on Rent, in that there is some music I love, and some music I don't, but ultimately I think that there are a lot of issues with Rent. Thematically and writing-wise. So, I've watched Rent many times. I have issues with it. What do I hate? I hate cats. I can't stand cats.
Don't listen, Leia.
No. It's okay. What else is there? I love most Disney musicals, and there's a televised version of The Music Man starring Matthew Broderick and Kristen Chenoweth, which I love. It's the only version of...
We got trouble.
It's the only version of The Music Man I really like.
Pardon my terrible impersonation of Matthew Broderick.
Ooh. You know what's bad is that, Jekyll and Hyde that I told you about, where the stage production I saw was, with David Hasselhoff.
It was just David Hasselhoff.
Mm-hmm.
The one-man show.
Let's see.
I like,
Newsies. I didn't grow up with Newsies. I only saw it recently, and I didn't love it.
Book of Mormon musical does have, or it does feature gay characters, but there's a whole section of that play talking about how the Mormon culture attempts to repress gay feelings and gay actions, but it's presented in a comedic way, and it's presented in a way of it doesn't work, sort of thing. So, but outside of that, very
heterosexual, yeah. Dear Evan Hansen, I actually haven't seen. My sister adores Dear Evan Hansen. I've listened to some music, and I think it's good. I also haven't seen Hadestown. I feel like I saw one, and it reminded me.
Newsies!
I said yes. I didn't like Newsies.
Newsies is so good, though.
Newsies is garbage.
No, it's great. Cellophane.
Oh, God.
Wait for me. I can hear the whistle blowing.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't seen 6, but my sister played some music, and it was great. Oh! Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat! I have never seen a show more times than I have seen Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and that is just by virtue of being raised ultra fucking Mormon, is that any chance they put on that musical, the family is like, we gotta go see Joseph. So I've seen so many productions. I have seen it live, performed by people of various ages. I have seen the movie. I have watched, I used to be able to sing the soundtrack top to bottom without stopping. My high school did Joseph, and
she owns a Technicolor Dreamcoat.
I own a Technicolor Dreamcoat. No.
She's best friends with Donny Osmond.
It's like one of those things that, being less religious now, it hasn't gotten rid of my love for Joseph. I just fucking love that musical.
It's so not good.
Great! It's so great.
Although the I think it was DreamWorks that did the animated Joseph movie. That one's pretty good.
I've seen that one.
It's right up there with Prince of Egypt.
Which I haven't seen.
That's right. Prince of Egypt's so good. You gotta see Prince of Egypt. Like, I know I'm a little biased because I got a religious upbringing, but like Old Testament stories, I loved Old Testament stories, especially because they're very in line with like other cultures' mythologies. I love like mythology, and so like Old Testament stories and the whole story of Moses and all the wonders and stuff like that. Thought it was great, and they made an amazing musical out of it. So,
people were very ready to believe that I owned a Technicolor Dreamcoat.
I haven't seen your full closet, but I also wouldn't be surprised.
I'm sorry, I haven't seen Prince of Egypt. I know, everyone agrees that it's amazing.
It does slap so hard. It's so good.
I don't know what happened. I think, like, weirdly, I was raised religious, but my mom didn't put on a lot of, like, religious animated shows. I don't know what it was. Like, she hated VeggieTales. She didn't turn on, like, if it was an animated thing about religion, she wouldn't turn it on.
And well, because there's also that culture within the Mormon Church of like containing the message of like making sure that you are the one, like the only source for like gospel messages and like spiritual messages. And so like VeggieTales is like generic Christian sort of stuff. And there were these things called living scriptures that the LDS Church produced.
I remember living scriptures.
And those, I think I watched as a kid. But real quick, sidebar about Prince of Egypt.
Okay.
Val Kilmer does the voice of Moses, which is awesome. Like it took me a long time to realize that. He was a really great voice actor. What's crazy though is that he was also the voice of the burning bush that Moses talks to and gets the commandments from, which if you just take a minute to sit with that, the burning bush was supposed to be the voice of God. And instead Moses is on a mountain by himself at high elevations talking to himself, apparently. Like, I don't think that they were going for that, but like, ooh.
It's a really cool interpretation.
It's a cool, like meta commentary on it's just the implications there.
The implications. Someone said that we should watch the film Prince of Egypt.
Yes, we should.
As like a old viewer and a new viewer.
Yeah, like
not
sharing
commenting
favorites.
on how old you were, but
yeah. I am very old. I'm ancient. Do you remember when dirt was invented? Because I do. I'm pre-dirt. All we had was sand.
Someone said the voice of the burning bush is, I think, a melding of the cast's voices.
Really? Okay, I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Because that would be even cooler.
That would be a really cool concept as well. But you have to then share your favorite war movies.
Oh, okay, yeah. Favorite war movies. So 1917 is definitely up there.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for Saving Private Ryan. I think that Tom Hanks is amazing in that. I think that Matt Damon is amazing in that. Like, that was a time during his career where I wasn't too keen on Matt Damon. That movie really sold it to me. That's the first introduction of Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel auditioned for another role and he didn't get it, but Spielberg was so infatuated by Vin Diesel's like energy and stuff that the character that Vin Diesel plays was written specifically for Vin Diesel so that Vin Diesel could be in the movie.
Now I'm gonna have to watch Saving Private Ryan because I dedicated my life to Vin Diesel.
You did. And now,
and there's no going back once I've done that.
I know that it's not a movie, but the miniseries Band of Brothers was really good. They had a companion series called The Pacific, which was okay, but it just felt like they were trying to use a format that worked for the European front of World War II in a situation that doesn't work for that. I guess you could count Forrest Gump as a war movie because it has war in it.
That's true. I like Forrest Gump.
And then
someone asked if 1917 is good. Yes.
Yes.
Overwhelmingly good movie, and neither of us has seen Hamilton, so we cannot comment on the quality. But everyone in my family loves it. So
yeah, and then I really like Enemy at the Gates.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie about a Russian soldier who becomes a sniper against the German front. And it's really fascinating to see how different the approach was from the Russians, or the Soviets, I should say, against the Nazis was, as opposed to like how the Americans do it, because that's something that's played up a lot in World War II films. Outside of World War II, 1917 isn't World War II, but like I like a lot of World War II films. And outside of that,
you're such a white dude about World War II.
I am like textbook white dude millennial when it comes to World War II. And yeah, so there was that tank movie with Brad Pitt that was really good too. That was World War II.
I don't remember.
Well. But like Civil War, I love the one, you'll have to excuse me. I'm very close to when I take medication for my
brain to working.
And so I'm having a lot of difficulty with memory recall and aphasia right now. It's not, I mean, Glory is good. But
someone asked about Glory.
I do really enjoy Glory. Matthew Broderick is very distracting for me, having grown up with him in Lady Hawk, playing this like minstrel character. It's very...
That's so interesting because like that is what I grew up on, as Matthew Broderick movies.
Yeah.
Like, when I was a weird kid in kindergarten, someone asked, like, who my favorite actor was, and I vividly recall being like, Cary Grant or Matthew Broderick, and everyone else was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because my mother, that's all she would watch. So, my mom loved Glory, and I've never seen it all the way through, but...
Yeah, it's so like the problem for me is that I really love Matthew Broderick as well, but I feel like a comedic actor, or if he's playing in a serious role, plays to his strengths as a comedic actor, like the way that Jim Carrey plays to his strengths in like The Truman Show.
Yeah.
He's still playing a serious role, but he does it in a way that he knows what to do, as opposed to like The Majestic. I love The Majestic. I just don't think it's the superior performance to Truman Show. And so in Glory, having seen Matthew Broderick in all of these comedic roles when I first saw Glory, it was very difficult to see him as anything other than Matthew Broderick in a costume.
That's fair.
I do need to revisit it, though.
There's Jojo.
Jojo Rabbit. Love Jojo Rabbit. I think that it's less a war film and more a coming of age, but the fact that it is set during World War II, I think is great. I do think that, like Enemy at the Gates, it's really fascinating to get a look on the other side of a situation, to get a look into the mindset of a child who's been basically brainwashed with all this propaganda, and see how he then views the world and interacts with it.
Someone said the Brad Pitt movie is Fury.
Fury, yes. I really enjoy Fury.
And I wanted to say that as a war movie, I only like war movies if they're like different than a traditional war movie, and which is why I think I like 1917, is because there's like a gimmick, a thing to it, and that's why I was into it. But Overlord is technically a World War II movie, and
it is. Yeah, I do like Overlord.
It's a horror film.
Gettysburg was the one I was thinking of. Gettysburg. Sorry, with Jeff Daniels.
Yeah. So, like, Overlord is a war movie I like. It's just not really a war movie.
I'm less a fan of, like, the over-the-top, hyper-stylized, dramatic movies about war. Like, The Patriot. I like The Patriot. I just don't like it as a war film. I'm trying to think of another example. I had one. Like Gods and Generals, I think, as a Civil War movie and as a companion film to Gettysburg, is pretty good. I just thought like they were trying to recreate a environment or a feel that worked in Gettysburg based on when it was released and based on that time period that was a little out of date. I'm trying to think of other war films that I really love. I'm sorry that I'm drawing a blank.
That's okay. I thought this was interesting. As a German, I grew up with, like, very different World War II media. I completely believe that would be the case based on what I've heard about Germany and, like...
Yeah, everyone that I've spoken to from Germany, that's a very sensitive topic and really hard to navigate around in order to get information from some German citizens because it's such a point of like national shame. Based on the people I've spoken to, I shouldn't speak for the German people.
No. My cousin, she married a guy from Germany, and they moved to Germany together, and it was always like really interesting to talk to him and hear kind of his perspective on war films and World War II, because he did like. He spent his entire life in Germany. The only time he left Germany was to go on a Mormon mission, which is where he met, my cousin, and then my cousin introduced him to his sister. So, like, but, lived and breathed Germany and then moved here for a while, and then eventually they moved back.
Yeah. Kingdom of Heaven.
Oh, I know you really love Kingdom of Heaven.
I would suggest if you're going to watch Kingdom of Heaven, try to get the director's cut. They just took so much out of the theatrical release for time that a lot of character context that you would have normally gotten is removed, and it's really unfortunate. Kingdom of Heaven is really good. I think it's also I think it's my favorite Orlando Bloom film. In terms of, like, his performance. I also, like, Guilty Pleasure, 300, like... It really... The more times I watch it, the more I enjoy it, as a retelling. Like, I feel like... I like 300 for very similar reasons to why I like the presentation of the film Birds of Prey, in that you get this unreliable narrator relating this story that is then portrayed for the audience in film. And so it's so over the top, and it's so just like hyper stylized and stuff. And I think Gerard Butler does an amazing job, like, holding that movie together. Plus, Michael Fassbender's in it, just randomly.
I love Michael Fassbender, and Michael Fassbender is, at this point, known in this apartment for being like, what are you doing here, Michael Fassbender?
Right?
I have to run to the bathroom.
Okay.
If you can handle,
but
I will be right back.
Run.
No, I don't want to run. I changed my mind. I want to walk to the bathroom.
All right, time to mess this up.
No!
Whereas last time I looked at none of your comments, I will look at all of them now. Jojo. I have not seen Grave of the Fireflies, but I've really wanted to. I'm trying to remember the companion film to Letters from Iwo Jima, because I thought that it was very ambitious at the time for them to create dual front movies for the Pacific. And I know that I saw Letters from Iwo Jima, and I'm just not sure if I remember if it was Flags of Our Fathers or something like that. But I would really want to see that. Boy in the Striped Pajamas, I don't know if I would count that as a war film, because it's a Holocaust film, in the same way that Schindler's List is a Holocaust film. I really enjoyed watching Boy in the Striped Pajamas for what it taught me, and like the cultural significance of it. And yeah, I would almost, I mean, obviously not to the same degree, but I almost feel like Jojo Rabbit is like a comedic take, or a lighter-hearted take on the same sort of stuff that's addressed in Boy in the Striped Pajamas. So, yeah.
Did you fuck it all up?
I did.
No,
yeah,
don't.
I will look into Grave of the Fireflies, because that sounds very interesting. But yeah, I just came to the realization that, have you seen Boy in the Striped Pajamas?
No, but I know like the plot of it.
Yeah, the fact that Boy in the Striped Pajamas follows the boy,
yeah,
who then finds the kid in the concentration camp, makes me think that Jojo Rabbit is like a lighter-hearted take on the same sort of concepts, and that it's a child within this oppressive and hateful
and cult-like
structure, and culture, who is then presented with like evidence or a person that contradicts that teaching. Cece never washes her hands. She comes out and she just wipes it on surfaces. Oh, our video went blue.
Yeah, what the hell?
I'm blue. Dabba dee dabba die.
Why are we so blue?
Here, hold on. There we go. Fixed it.
Okay. Nope, it's shifting blue again.
Dang it.
I can go sit over there. Because I wouldn't mind sitting on it.
No, sit on the floor.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was going to say about Boy in Striped Pajamas. This right here. I won't read it because spoilers, but...
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I also have that sort of same mentality about it, but I could see that. I do think, though, that I mean, I don't want to necessarily say too much, but like I do feel like the children of, in a different way, very different way, were victimized by the adult culture, of teaching them that hate and teaching them to think that way and teaching them that it was right and correct. So I definitely see your point, Crimson Daisy, but at the same time, it was, I think
you're interested to see like the impact of hateful and cult-like, and not cult-like, but cult behavior, how it is reflected on children. Yeah, I think that is something that interests you.
I think that Jojo Rabbit does a better job of making it not like, well, also this. You know, it's it's showing just that.
Mm-hmm.
It's putting a microscope on that victimization or that tragedy of how. Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, you can use the couch. I'll allow it.
Oh, thank God. My legs are killing me. Let me just click on this to make sure that I'm still in frame.
You are.
Because my leggies, they hurty.
Leggies.
My leggies. My leggies. I've been kneeling this whole time. I felt like I've been, Danny
Zuko?
Gonzalez. No.
Oh.
Danny Gonzalez's update corner.
Yeah.
It's time to break my knees!
If you guys don't know who Danny Gonzalez is, get ye onto the YouTubes, but he's really good.
That's like all we watch. We just watch Danny Gonzalez and Drew Gooden videos.
Mm-hmm. And also Jenny Nicholson. I was going to say earlier about Frozen 2. Like,
oh, yeah.
I tried to turn it back on Disney Plus, and like her breakdown of why it's just a mess. And just you really realize that Frozen 2 is this cobbled together nonsense, barely held together with just song. Like every time you realize the plot is just nothing and there's no real drive and things could have been so much better, they throw a song at you and they're like, it's like, haha, pocket sand. Just to distract you. Yeah. Look,
we wrote another song. Right, does it mean anything? It's a song!
Yeah.
Oh. Hello, Live 1,000 Lives. How are you guys liking living in Washington State? I live here too. We talked about that a little bit at the beginning of the stream. I think ultimately we really like it here. It's a slower integration here than it's been, I think, in any other place we've lived, which just socially.
Yeah.
The Washington area, like, it's known for having the Seattle freeze, and I think that it's just been a very different experience than anywhere else we've ever moved.
Yeah.
Trying to get involved in social stuff here.
Yeah.
And now that's going to be even harder considering we all have to socially distance, but...
Yeah, keep away. Like, it was really cool to finally have people over.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things I realized
I think Anna's still here.
Yeah, one of the things I realized when we moved in was, like, we have so many games and no friends here. Like, I just want some friends. You know,
just want to play games.
Yeah.
It was lovely to play games again.
Yeah,
because I think it's something we're passionate about.
And if you're still here next time, you and Sean come over, like, we gotta play DC Deck Building.
We do. DC Deck Building is our greatest passion in life.
DC Deck Building is love. DC Deck Building is life. I will, and obviously it's probably part of my obsessive compulsive disorder, but I would play that game on repeat
forever
if I could. Like, it's that good. I'm still so blue.
I know. I don't know what happened.
Teal and orange.
Teal and orange.
Teal
I
and
could
orange.
go close
teal and
that.
Orange. Teal and orange.
I could go close that window behind you, maybe so it's not so backlit.
Maybe I can just move things around, and then it'll magically fix itself. Hold on. And then, no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No, I made it
Anna's
worse.
Still here. We will play all the games. Yay.
I'm just blue. Da-ba-dee-da-ba-da.
Strange Aeons, is that how you say that? Is a commentary reaction channel. Let's see. I look them up.
It's our rival. No, we wouldn't have rivals.
No. What do you mean? Our rival?
No, if they're also
Oh.
If they react to, like, film.
No.
Oh, okay. It's yeah, okay.
It's like reaction stuff.
Yeah, okay, like Danny Gonzalez.
Like Danny.
Drew Gooden.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I understand. I am having the understand now.
I just saved that channel so we can watch some of those. Elsa near Into the Unknown, when she finally has the hope she's no longer alone. There's another one out there. My heart's... Yeah, like, that's the thing, is that I love Elsa's songs. And it's clear that that's where all of the attention was placed.
Mm-hmm.
Because Into the Unknown is a really good song, and I got chills the first time I, like, listened to it and saw it in the theater. And even when we were watching the beginning of the movie again last night, like, hearing Into the Unknown gives me chills.
Yeah.
And I think Show Yourself also does. It's a really good song. It just feels like those are the
I just got chills
thinking about Show Yourself.
Yeah.
Because they're both so queer-coded. Like, there's more to it than that, but oh my god, Show Yourself is so gay, and it makes me very emotional.
Yeah, I thought, like, without getting too much into spoilers for Frozen 2, I thought that movie could have been so much better. And, like, listening to the soundtrack before seeing the movie, I thought that it was going to be so much better.
So much better.
And, like, because it could have been set up, and it would have made Disney a lot of money. They made a lot of money. I'm not going to say they didn't, right? But, like, if they had set it up as, like, first movie, Elsa and Anna learning to reconnect, Elsa being, like, exploring, like, self-shame and like, Anna learning, like, self-dependence, I guess, or not having to depend on the idea of, like, marriage as who she is, right? Like, so I thought Frozen did a good thing in managing those, right? Frozen 2 could have been, like, Elsa trying to find someone like her, trying to break out of that isolation, that feeling of isolation, because even if she's, you know, with her sister and part of this kingdom, she is different, right? And so finding people like her, finding out who she truly is and being okay with it and all that stuff would have been really great, because it basically not removes her from the picture, but allows her to step aside so that then you can develop an honest story for the next one. But instead,
they just kind of rehashed the first movie and then threw together an ending.
And nothing has consequences.
No, Elsa is not canon gay, but there's also nothing in canon for either movies to suggest that she's straight.
She's not gay.
She's not gay. Just Disney is too busy making Cyclops in one scene gay. They don't have time to, or the courage to make a whole ass main character gay.
LeFou is he's getting his own Disney Plus thing,
but he's not going to be gay in that.
Yeah, he hasn't. Yeah.
Because in the live-action Beauty and the Beast, all we got of him being gay was dancing with a man for 2 seconds and not being openly disgusted by it. So, no way are we getting that. And, Cyclops, that's gay. Supposedly we're getting a gay character in the jungle.
Cyclops from the X-Men?
From the X-Men.
Yeah.
Supposedly we're getting a gay main character in the Jungle Cruise, but it's supposed to be, like, a really...
can't believe that's a movie.
I know. Well, and it's being played by Jack Whitehall, and he's supposed to be playing, like, a really prissy, stereotypical, like, gay, who's ashamed and horrified by his own gayness, and his sister has to be like, no, it's okay, love yourself. So
step into your gayness.
Exactly. So that's gonna be rough. Yes, the Love, Simon TV show had to be moved to Hulu because they don't even want gay shit.
It's not family friendly. It has some alcohols, some swears, and nothing else on Disney Plus has those things. No. Don't look that up. So just believe us that that's the reason.
That's people were passing around that clip from that Disney Channel original movie Blank Check. Where the little boy goes on a date with a 30-year-old woman. And
I love Blank Check. It's a terrible movie, and that woman should be ashamed of herself.
That woman should be in jail.
Legit tries to initiate a relationship with a teenager.
But that's family friendly. That's on Disney
Totally
Plus.
family friendly. He's got a water slide. He uses a computer to buy a house after he accidentally gets $1 million that was meant to go to juice. Y'all know what I'm saying. Blank check represent.
Oh, God. Any thoughts on the Connected trailer? Do you mean the Jungle Cruise trailer?
Or is it called Connected?
Or is it called Connected?
That's amazing. King Louis has a female orangutan body. Accidental. That's awesome.
We stan. Connected is a movie in pre-production, so I'm guessing that doesn't have a trailer. Oh, there is a trailer.
Ha! Shows what you know.
It does. Is that gay?
Lead has a pride pin.
Lead has a pride pin. Huh. We'll have to watch that. Who is making this movie?
DreamWorks, maybe?
Sony Animation.
Oh!
It will be a similar animation style to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I was going to say Spider-Verse. They did. They knocked it out of the park with Spider-Verse.
They did.
Someone earlier had asked what our favorite additions to the HP movies were that weren't in the book.
That weren't in the book?
Yeah.
I don't have any.
I mean, I'm not Team Peeves, so I'm okay with them removing Peeves.
Horrified.
I mean, I was a different age, like, when I read it than you were, and also Peeves just reminded me of, like, the feeling I would get of being annoyed, you know, and like, I had a lot of anger issues as a teen.
Sure.
And, like, people and things that annoyed me were already everywhere, and so Peeves was like, no, I don't like them. No.
But, like, what's so great about Peeves is the build-up to the point that, like, you're like, oh, he's just this annoying kid, but then by the time you get to the 5th book, he's like, no, I'm anti-establishment.
Yeah.
Let's take down the system.
I think, too, the other thing is I played the Harry Potter computer games, and Peeves is this, like, creepy, like, Paul Rubin esque ghost where he's, like, long and lank, and he's like, you can't get past me.
No.
Like, he bugged me so much in those games, but...
That's fair.
Did I ever tell you about those games? Like,
yeah.
And how you had to, like, trace...
the magic spells?
Yeah, the magic spells. But our computer monitor the brightness was too low, and so we couldn't see what the spell was. And so we had to, like, fill it in with different squiggles over and over again until we got something enough to pass.
My God.
It was hell. That's the 7th circle of hell.
Oh, sorry. So apparently there are spoilers for Harry Potter.
Oh, no.
That person is reading Harry Potter right now.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. I don't think that those are...
They're not major spoilers, no.
They're not.
No, I mean, Peeves is a side character.
Yeah, and he's not really important.
And his, like, backstory is not essential to the plot.
No, it's not. I mean, that's why they were able to remove him for the movies.
Yeah. But... Unless it's spoilers that they removed from the movies.
I mean...
Yikes.
Let's see. I'm glad someone else knows about the computer games. Did anyone else have the game, there is a board game for Harry Potter. There are a lot of board games for Harry Potter, but specifically when only the first couple of... rereading. Rereading Harry Potter. Cool. That helps. But when only the first couple of movies were out, there was this board game that you could play Quidditch. but it was basically like you had a floating styrofoam ball, and then you could control air around the thing, and you had to, like, balance how much air you were using to get the styrofoam ball to float between the different...
That sounds fun.
It was so difficult.
That sounds like maybe a lot of fun.
I was only playing it with, like, people my age, and we were all kids, so we couldn't figure out. We were just like, no! Stupid thing!
Me am child. Me am play Quidditch. Me am angry. Me am smash. Like,
and I also remember the games on the DVD. There was a game in, like, the Sorcerer's Stone DVD where you had to tap the correct stones to get into
special features.
No. Just to get into other parts of the game.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That was pretty fun, too.
Yeah, there was also this card game for Harry Potter that I owned that came out before the movies came out. And it's before they were doing art for, like, covers and stuff. Before they had made a decision. And so there was I don't think it was original art from the first book, but it was a card game where you play Quidditch, and on the front of the box, Harry Potter's scar goes that way.
Yeah, it goes across his forehead.
It's horizontal, and it's huge. And so when the movie came out, I was like, what? That's not what his scar looks like.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I need you to read this comment right here. You need to read it aloud.
Oh God, the floating styrofoam ball. We hate it, precious.
Thank you, that's all.
We hate it, shots.
That thing just pinged off into orbit at the slightest opportunity. Exactly!
Just so everyone is aware of the shots thing, it's the greatest thing ever. In German, my precious is meine Schatz. And it opens up so many remix potentials for shots, where really he's just saying precious, everybody.
Bryan, the movie Tall Tale is on Disney Plus.
I love Tall Tale. I watched it. I grew up on Tall Tale, and it was so good. It's not a good movie, but it is so much fun.
Favorite movie soundtracks?
The Fountain.
Just any movie? Yeah.
No, Oblivion. Tron Legacy
is your favorite. I know.
So good. And I think Oblivion, the soundtrack for Oblivion is part of the same reason, or why I like it so much, is for part of the reason why I really like Tron Legacy soundtrack so much, in that it was a band, like that was brought in to create a soundtrack, and they already knew so much about like the ambiance that people are drawn to today through their music, and so they were able to create that in the films really well. And so I know that you really love Tron Legacy. I think I really love I love the Moonlight soundtrack. I listen to a lot of the songs from Moonlight when I'm reading, so that's special to me. I think that I was just thinking about another movie that has a great like instrumental soundtrack, because I wanted to mention a couple of movie soundtracks that had like songs in them. And I feel like there was another composed soundtrack that I live for. I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean. I was going to say Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean is a standout.
I really liked the Gladiator soundtrack too. I used to listen to that on repeat. That was so good.
Let me see if my instrumental reading playlist had other ones that I know.
I play video games more than CC, for sure.
Yeah. I was thinking of shows. because The Leftovers...
Oh, The Leftovers was so good.
...has a great soundtrack for a show, and Haunting of Hill House has an amazing soundtrack.
Yeah, they do. Those soundtracks are choice.
Yeah.
You play some video games. Like, you were playing Let's Go Eevee for a while.
I was playing Let's Go Eevee for a while.
You play more like party game video games.
I don't really get into, like, story-driven video games just because I wasn't raised on them in any way. I didn't have access to video games until I was in my teens, and then it was only Guitar Hero, so I just was never a story-driven game person.
Yeah, whereas I really like the story-based RPGs and stuff like that. So yeah, I played Dragon Age. I started to play Dragon Age 2. I didn't really like the mechanics as much, and so dropped off there and never played Dragon Age 3, which I heard was a mistake. That Dragon Age 3 is worth playing. Skyrim. Skyrim is like 10 or 12 years old, and it is still one of the best games ever. I bought my first big boy console for the predecessor to that, which was Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion.
Yeah.
That was my reason for living. And for all the crap that Bethesda puts out, those games were really well made. Fallout. Right now I'm really into Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
That game is so good and just so replayable. It's so soothing to me to be able to just grind out some guns,
I have played Animal Crossing. I was literally just talking today about how I'm considering getting Animal Crossing for the Switch, because Animal Crossing was the first video game that I played that had any kind of continual thing that I could come back and keep playing. My cousins had a GameCube, and they had Animal Crossing on GameCube and let me make a character. And then eventually, when I was older, I had a DS, and I had Animal Crossing on the DS that I loved, but I didn't have any friends, so I couldn't go to any other places. So, that was my OG calming game, and I've been really considering getting one for the Switch, because you have a Switch, and I think that it would be like Let's Go Eevee, which I find very soothing and low risk and low stress.
Yeah.
So, maybe.
Yeah. And that wasn't my scene. That I needed more going on in my games.
I think the only game that you've had me try to play, well, I played Borderlands 2 with you for a bit. I think.
Yeah, for a little bit.
2. I could never pick it up.
Yeah.
My brain just doesn't.
Just like the shooters, you kind of have to have developed that sort of rhythm. I developed it with Halo, OG Halo 2. And when I started playing those, I was the fish out of water. So now I'm in that intermediate place where I can just pick up a shooter and know how to play it. And I can understand your discomfort with it.
Yeah, I just we really gave it our all, or I really gave it my all, and I was just following along, doing my best to keep up, kind of, and I felt like I was just never getting better at it. My brain doesn't do it intuitively, and so it was really frustrating. And I tried to play the Walking Dead game, and I got...
the Telltale series.
Yeah, I got a little bit into that, but I liked the story aspect of it more than when things would get really intense.
The quick time events.
The quick time events.
A zombie coming
No, I can't do that.
And you have to press X.
Because I don't know. I don't ever remember where anything is on the controller, and it really panics me, and I can't get used to it. So that's why I need low risk story games.
Real quick side tangent. Someone said Dinosaur is disproportionately good soundtrack. I had to throw in for 10,000 BC. 10,000 BC has the best soundtrack to worst movie ratio. The soundtrack is ridiculously high quality, and the movie is so completely bad. But yeah, I just had to throw that in there. I haven't played Stardew Valley before. I've been told that I should. I've been told that it's a reason to own a Switch.
Same. And everyone has been saying that Stardew Valley is a great game in, like, the same genre of games I like. Soothing.
And Breath of the Wild, like, I really want to play that, because I got into, like, I played, like, Link's Awakening and, like, all the, like, Game Boy Zelda games, and then I really got into Zelda with Ocarina of Time and Mask of Majora on the N64, and I've just been missing out on the consoles needed in order to play things like Wind Waker and what's the one where he's a wolf? That one's so good. Twilight Princess, I think, is the one where he's a wolf. But I really wanted to play Breath of the Wild, and I just gotta get my nephews to let me borrow it.
Yeah.
And I probably won't ever stop playing it, because I hear that's how it plays.
Yeah, that tracks. It's so funny. I like, someone said if you can get it on PC, so you can have the ability for mods. There's a huge mod community for Stardew. That was what I was into when I was a kid. I wasn't into video games. I was hyper into computer games.
Yeah.
PC games, like, I spent 90% of my time as a child playing PC games. Like, any tycoon game, I played it, I mastered it, I would put it on my Christmas list.
Yeah. And I think that, like, I was raised console, and, like, I dabbled in StarCraft for a while. Like, I by dabbled, I mean that I played it religiously at school during a lunch break, same with Team Fortress 2. But, like, I just never, in the same way that you had a hard time, like, picking up how to use the controller intuitively, I never picked up the intuition of, like, complex PC gaming, and so it always felt weird, because the PC was always, like, a place for work, you know? Or, like, a place for, like, simple games.
Yeah, and, like, definitely to an extent, like Zoo Tycoon, Roller Coaster Tycoon are simple games.
Oh, for me, those are starting to border on complex. Like, I always tried to play SimCity and would fail miserably.
And I never played Sims. I have absolutely never played any version of any Sims.
The Sims? No, SimCity.
Oh, SimCity.
SimCity, which is Roller Coaster Tycoon for a city. You're just building a city.
I would have loved that.
And you're managing, like, I need to build a power plant and connect the
that
thing
sounds
over
amazing.
To... You would love SimCity.
I would love that.
I never played The Sims as much either, and I just couldn't get into PC gaming. I either never had the hardware that I needed in order to run the stuff that I wanted to play, or it played laggy, or I just couldn't get a hang of the controls.
Yeah, like, because then I played a bunch of, like, story games, too. I was really into... There was a computer game that they released that was an adaptation of the movie, A Series of Unfortunate Events. It wasn't the books, it was specifically the movies. And I played that obsessively. It was a computer game at my Grammy's house that I would go over to her little computer room and play it. And my Grammy, like, would read Nancy Drew to me aloud, so she found out there were Nancy Drew computer games where you could work and solve mysteries, and I was very into those.
You want to know, here's something that's going to date me considerably. My first experiences with PC gaming was I would have to exit Windows so that I could go back to the BIOS, and using DOS, load DOS-based games. So, like, C/, run / like, it was, I don't even remember how much I used to do, but, like, I remember I played a Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers one a lot as a kid. There was this game where monkeys threw explosive bananas at each other, very much like Worms.
Yes. My first PC games were those, like, Barbie games. Yes, that was my entire existence. I lived for the Barbie games, and then my sister played them, and I was like, they're not cool anymore, because my baby sister's playing them. I have to hate Barbie. But, like, I loved the Barbie games, and then I loved any website that could host games.
Yeah. Like the Flash games and stuff. I would play those a lot during, like, school breaks.
Yeah, Cartoon Network had a whole, like, game website where you could play, like, Powerpuff Girl games and Totally Spies games, and I lived for those. And there was a whole Barbie game website, too.
Yeah, like, is it like those Elsa ones?
A little more complicated than those, but yeah, basically. Yeah. It's like the Stitch game that was on Disney XD website where you just have to make the sandwich. Did you ever see those? It was, Leroy? I think it was Leroy.
Of course it was Leroy. Leroy is the sandwich guy.
Yeah, and you just had to...
Experiment 6-2 sandwich.
Yeah, and they would just, like, drop down, ingredients for the sandwich, and then also bad stuff, and you have to move to catch it, and it would wobble, and if you got the bad stuff, like, it would be a point off, and you had, like, 3 lives, and the goal was always to try to get to the top of
that sounds awesome.
The screen, or you could see how long you could go, so as soon as you get a second piece of bread, then the sandwich would go away, and you could start fresh, and it was just how long you could last. I never played harder.
I get that. I mean, and I also got into RuneScape for a bit because I was a white boy in Utah, and I was a nerd and had no friends, and I didn't have the stomach or funds for World of Warcraft, so I played RuneScape. And then there was like another one that was Flash Base, and I don't remember what it was called, but I put so much time into it, and it was just simple 2D graphics, and it was Adventure Quest or something adventure, and if anyone knows what I'm talking about, it might be Adventure Quest, and it was the worst, most garbage game, and I think that was one of like the first online games that I put money into just because I was the worst. So
I understand. I'm sorry, someone just shouted out literally my favorite game when I was a child. The first internet game I remember ever playing was a Powerpuff Girls snowboarding game. When they took that off of the Cartoon Network website, I was devastated. There was that game. There was a Powerpuff Girls game where you could pillow fight. It was a pillow fight game that I was really into, but I could never get good at. And there was get good. There was a Scooby-Doo game that I spent most of my life trying to beat on Cartoon Network.
You? I know. Scooby-Doo?
I know. But it was like a story game where you were trying to solve a mystery, and I remember I would always get stuck at the same point, and I couldn't get past it. My mom had to turn off the computer.
That was like me. I played a Carmen Sandiego game.
Yeah, yes.
I played Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and it was a garbage game too, but me and my sister were convinced that we were missing a piece that was needed in order to play it, because one of the things you would do is you'd fly somewhere, and they'd be like, yeah, I saw Carmen Sandiego. She was talking about going to the capital city of Spain. And then it would give you 3 options of where you'd want to go.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd be like, capital city of Spain. That's probably Brazil. And we click Brazil, and we fly to Brazil. And when we get there, we'd be like, have you seen Carmen Sandiego? And they'd be like, if you want information, dial 411, right? Which used to be like the 411, 911 style thing. And we, in our infinite genius, did not know that was, so we're like, okay, on our phone, 411, hello, information, no, I can't help you, click. And we're like, what are we doing wrong? And so then we would just fly to random places, always lose.
Yeah.
My favorite game for the computer, though, was Maniac Mansion. And I could never, ever beat it, ever. Especially because the PC version was different than the console version. And there was a door, and it had a locked keypad, and we didn't know the combination to the keypad, and if you type in the wrong combination, the whole house explodes, and you die, and you lose.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. We just died and lost every single time.
I wanted to go back up to this because I read the comment and totally agreed with it, and then I saw who commented it. So Nancy Drew games were so scary as a kid, especially the one with the ghost dogs. I was like, yes, oh my god, totally. And then I realized that's Robert. I went to college with Robert. That's my friend. And I am so glad that you agree. That game scared the shit out of me, and I loved it.
You're all children.
We're children, yeah. No, like, I had the Ghost Dog Nancy Drew game, and it legitimately was very frightening.
Did you read Nancy Drew as a kid?
Yes.
I read a lot of the, we need a male version of Nancy Drew.
Hardy Boys?
No.
Oh.
No. It was Encyclopedia Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I dug Encyclopedia Brown books so much. I thought I was going to grow up to become a detective. That's how much I loved them.
That's how much I love Nancy Drew. That's why I started writing when I was a kid. It's because my Grammy would read Nancy Drew to me, and I would, like, I wrote a mystery book when I was a kid, but I didn't know how to write yet, so I would just recite it to my Grammy, and she would take notes and write it down for me. But I, like, at some point in my life, I'm going to have to get a Nancy Drew tattoo, because, like, that was my entire introduction to liking books, liking stories.
Yeah.
Like, my mom read a lot of books out loud to me, and they mean so much, like A Wrinkle in Time and The Lost Prince.
You should get a Tesseract tattoo.
Yeah.
You can't.
I can't.
No, we don't know how to represent them.
No. But, like, my mom read Peter Pan to me, and those were all so meaningful, and that's also why I loved reading, but Nancy Drew. Like, when my grandparents' house burned down, it was a really big deal because my Grammy had this beautiful collection of all of our Nancy Drew books. And I was in high school when it burned down, and so I did a book drive, and I was just trying to find books that were in my Grammy's collection as, like, my way of helping. And Patricia, Rosie's mom, donated their full Nancy Drew collection.
That's amazing.
And they're up in my Grammy's house now, and that was, like, the biggest deal. So we had this huge tub, and every single one of them is from Patricia and Rosie.
It's really cool.
So, like, someday a Nancy Drew tattoo is going to have to be the case.
People said Oregon Trail. Like, Oregon Trail, it's before your time. Oregon Trail, I played it because it was on the school computers at my elementary school as a selection of educational games that you could play during your lunch break. And the other one was like Math Blaster. Loved me some Math Blaster. And then there were like letter games and stuff like that. Some people, like masochists, would play Mavis Beacon games. Like, we had to go to a whole class to learn Mavis Beacon. Why are you spending your free time typing better? Like,
see, and that's what I had, because I was homeschooled, so I didn't have access to a lot of the games that were, like, that people would play during elementary school.
Yeah.
And my mom bought a lot of educational games so that she could also have time to do her own thing and be like, please just go learn how to type. So I loved Mavis Beacon because I was like, yes, it's computer game time. See, let's type.
I like Mavis Beacon as a piece of software, and, like, it is a lot better than other typing things that we used to do, but, like, I just don't understand why people do that instead of, like, play Team Fortress 2 or StarCraft, So that was more middle school, I guess, than the other ones, but...
I was one of those children. Unite!
Math Blaster.
We love it! Oh, that's... Yeah. Like, the Nancy Drew books being gone were truly and deeply not the biggest loss of that. Like, my grandparents' house burnt down to the ground. There was nothing left of that house. And I just remember in high school being like, what can I do? I turned 16, like, 2 days after it burned down. So I was 15, but then I was 16, just trying to figure out what I could personally do. Because everyone else was trying to figure out everything else. And my only thing that I knew about when I was in high school was books. So I was like, okay, books. So it was very difficult for me as well, just dealing with that, but, you know, we had everyone safe, and now I get to create new memories with those Nancy Drew books and with my Grammy, so.
Yeah.
My boyfriend just said Doom was his favorite PC game.
Oh, man. I had a friend, Grant Muggy. I got a lot of stories about Grant Muggy. I miss that dude. Growing up, and we would go to his house because he had Doom, like OG Doom, on his computer, and Duke Nukem, and those were great. Like, just that hallway sort of turn, door, there's a monster sort of games. Those were a lot of fun. I've heard the new Doom is really good too, as like a horror shooter. I don't do too well with horror shooters though, because I get scared. Yeah. Like, I saw someone play Dead Space. You ever seen Dead Space? It's space zombies. And like, you know what's even worse than it being space zombies? If you shoot the head, they get worse. So you're like, oh, space zombies. I know what to do. I shoot them in the head. You shoot them in the head, they grow extra arms and become faster. And like, so you have to basically dismember them. You have to shoot off all of their limbs.
Oh, God.
And that's the only way you can kill them. It's too much for me. It's too much. I'll admit it. I'm too scared.
Someone said hi, Cora. So I'm giving Cora, you know, nice pets and scratches. Because people said hello to her.
Normally, she gives her bad scratches.
No!
And mean pets.
No, I never would.
She's like, take this, you bad dog.
No! I would never. My sweet girl. My sweet girl.
She's super snuggly right now.
She's so
like,
snuggly.
She's so firmly wedged between our bodies that I don't want to go get like water to take my medication with.
Where did you put your water?
Right here.
Oh, it's empty?
Yeah. So, I just want to take my medication. My dog is more important. No, I will not drink your water. It's poison.
Look, you're not even drinking it from...
Fine. But you're getting all the backwash.
No! Please don't do that!
I'm gonna just actively spit into it. Like,
please don't spit into it. I'm quite a bit younger than you guys. Rude. I'm just kidding. But someone downloaded Quake 3 onto our school computers and we play that all the time. I don't think I've ever heard of Quake 3.
Quake, it's like Doom. It's like Duke Nukem. It's like, it's in that same sort of like either space monsters or hell monsters. So it's like a horror action shooter game.
Okay.
Anything that starts with a D is going to be a horror shooter.
That's fair. I love Dead Space. That's too scary. Call down the Hawk vlog soon. Yeah, I meant to do that like ages ago. My bad. I've talked about in videos basically just that November became kind of the worst thing. And I had intended to reread Call Down the Hawk, but I wound up not reading much of anything in November because I was home attending a funeral. But I'm hoping that some point this year I can reread Call Down the Hawk, and I will dedicate a whole reading vlog to it, I promise. And it will be a reread vlog because I did read Call Down the Hawk last year. I just read it way prior to publication and wasn't allowed to talk about it in a vlog, so.
The way you say reread, you say it so quick together that it sounds like you're scratching a record on like a Beastie Boys album.
Reread?
Yeah, reread. I'm gonna reread. That would be like Raven Cycle in terms of how many readings, right? Or Harry Potter. Which one would it be? Read.
That would be Harry Potter.
Yeah. Just make sure you tally every time you read a book in the book so you know how many reads you're supposed to put with it.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's like I mark everything that I put into the refrigerator to know whether it's a refrigerator for that, or if it's just a refrigerator.
A refrigerator.
If it's never been refrigerated, then
that's stupid.
That's why I call it a fridge.
No,
it's not a refridge.
No, you're so stupid.
And
I haven't even started it because I'm a bad person. No, you aren't. You are never a bad person for not having gotten to a book. I promise you. I
haven't gotten to it either. So unless you're calling me a bad person,
we do this thing in our apartment. I know it's not just an us thing, but I saw it in Booksmart too, where like whenever one of us is hard on ourselves, it becomes like how dare you be mean to my best friend? I'm gonna fight you for saying something bad about my best friend. So just treat yourself like that. What if someone was saying that about your friend or your loved one?
Yeah.
Nah,
you ain't gonna stand for that.
Oh my god, yes. Read-a-lodian.
Read Junior.
Oh, my back is killing me.
You should have it removed.
Probably.
No more back. No more back. No more back problems. Mo backs, mo problems.
Mo back, mo problems.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just like I participated in sport when I was youth.
Yeah, you had a singular sport. No, it's the same reason that like my legs don't work very well, and yeah, I mean yours is more about contortionism and like you
smashing my spine.
Yeah, you bent everything more than it was supposed to be bent.
Yeah.
And you like put more pressure on every piece of your body than was ever meant to be there.
I was a gymnast. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, I did gymnastics for like 10 years and it royally fucked my back and there's no coming back from it.
Yeah, your back is now just it's gone.
It's gone.
There is no more back.
There's no more back, and I can't even do flips anymore. So what was the point?
Honestly, you can't do flips, and you're not a ninja. So why did you bother?
Why did I bother? Why bother learning a backflip if I can't always do a backflip and my back is forever broken?
If you can't constantly be doing backflips, what's the point?
It's also I fucked my knee up. I fucked my knee up doing a backflip.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm 24, almost 25, and I am a young person with a fucked up back and a fucked up knee. And
earlier when you went to the bathroom and didn't wash your hands, someone said happy birthday with the water emoji from the shower, because that's where you wash your hands too, right?
Yeah, in the shower.
In the rare cases that you do. No, and I was like, how did they know your birthday's coming up? Wait, it's washing your hands to happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I said my birthday was this Saturday earlier in the stream.
Don't give away your information to strangers on the internet.
It says it in my Twitter bio.
They'll steal your identity. Didn't you ever hear that from your mom?
I mean, yes, I definitely did. I don't know that she fully approves. Where the hell is my phone? I don't know that she fully approves of the fact that she spent my entire youth being like, don't give your information to someone on the internet. And now I'm like, here's my whole life.
Your job is consistent of giving people your internet information.
The birthday thing, there wasn't a soap or tap emoji. That's fair. Bryan just likes to be a dick about things.
I do. It's my sole
entire
joy
personality
in life. It's the only thing that brings me joy is bringing down everyone else. That's not true. I don't bring down everyone.
Oh. Do we need to start prepping for dinner?
It depends on if you want to eat soon.
Are
we doing the soup tonight?
I figured.
Then it needs a lot more time.
Oh.
Because we haven't even begun doing the vegetables in there.
Well, I mean, do we need to do that?
If we're gonna eat it soon, then yeah. I can go do that if you want to hang with your friends some more. If you want to hang out with your buddies.
Hang out with my buddies.
Bye, everyone. I'm going to go chop vegetables because I'm the servant. That's not true. I just prefer doing it.
We've rearranged the social structure in this apartment. So now you do the cooking and the cleaning, and no, that's not the case.
Oh, burn.
Oh no, now I'm blue. Dubba-dee-dubba-die.
If you were green, you would die.
They asked if they can help with prep.
Yes. If someone wants to start cutting the celery, I'm also going to need someone to hold the strainer while I pour the soup. So just get that ready first, and then we'll talk.
We will give encouragement from here. You can do it!
That doesn't help at all.
He said that's very unhelpful.
That's not what I said at all.
It's totally what you said. Can you guys see Cora? I think that's what matters here.
Did we lose the accompanying bowl to this? The blue bowl?
I guess we must have.
Okay.
I don't know where it is.
I just don't know if we have a thing big enough to hold the soup once I strain it.
Oh.
But I'm going to try that other pan or pot.
Okay. Oh, they said they were on it with the tasks you gave.
Got it.
So you're good.
Be the taskmaster?
Yes, you were the taskmaster. Does anyone watch Taskmaster? It's a British game show, and they have full episodes up on YouTube, and it's a really fun show. We really recommend it. It's basically just a show where comedians have to do silly, meaningless tasks for points, and that's great. That's great for me.
It works for me.
Yeah, it works for me. It's really funny. Let's see. I can give scraps of the vegetables that you're working hard to cut to the dog. Perfect. Honestly,
she will try to chew it. She'll chew it for half a second and then drop it.
Yeah, she'll chew for half a second and then drop it because it is too difficult for her to eat. So she'll chew it and she'll set it aside to work on later.
Except she'll never get back to it.
She'll never get back to it later.
With vegetables and fruit, she starts to eat it in her mouth and then she's like, "This is different than something I usually eat. Better not eat it." Which is smart.
Let's see. My family's obsessed with Taskmaster, and then I'm only aware of the comic book character Taskmaster, which, to be fair, whenever I hear about the comic book character Taskmaster, I always just visualize the British quiz show host instead. Let's see. Tell us more about Cora. What are her favorite things? She loves to sleep. She loves to visit her friends in the office, which she's not going to be able to do for a while.
She loves to go O-U-T-S-I-D-E.
Yes, she likes to go O-U-T-S-I-D-E. We spell. We also we sometimes say it. We'll say, do the thing.
Yeah.
When it's time to do the thing, because Cora is named after the character Cora from Legend of Korra. And in that, there is a character who always says, "Do the thing, Julie!
Julie?
Do the thing!" So, when it's time to go O-U-T, we say, "It's time to do the thing!"
It also just conveniently doesn't use any of the words that she already knows and associates with it.
Yes, it's also free of traditional words that Cora knows.
She loves to nest.
She loves to nest. She builds nests all over the apartment, and we sometimes help her build nests, but she's laying on a blanket that's on the couch because she likes to have toys and bones and stuff up here. But she has another nest between the couches, if you can see that there are two couches here. So there's this couch that I'm on, and then there's this couch, and then there's this whole blank space where our movies are, and that is just full of blankets and stuffed toys that Cora sleeps on. And then she has two nests in Bryan's room, because she goes in there every night, and they're just piles of blankets and pillows that she loves. So, yes. Oh, she is spoiled, but she loves the office ladies. She knows what's happening. Like, if you turn a certain specific way, then she knows she's going to go see her friends, and she will, like, sprint all the way down because she loves them.
They give her 2 treats.
She loves to run up and down the apartment and jump on my bed. She loves to wait on my bed when we leave, and she looks through the blinds in my bedroom, because the blinds in my bedroom look down onto the parking lot. So when we park, she perks right up and stares at us, because the car has arrived, and she just waits until we start heading towards the door, and then she bolts to the door. Let's see. We say we're going to take our dog on the treadmill. My mom wants to incorporate jaunty stroll. I love that.
We're gonna do the thing jauntily.
Jauntily, just like Gentleman Jack. Ow. Our euphemism for WALK is take the 4-legged creature to hit the tarmac.
Nice. I like it.
Crystal Maze is similar and equally as funny, but with Taskmaster rather than getting crystals, the tasks are, like, super pointless.
Oh.
Okay, Crystal Maze. We'll have to look into Crystal Maze. See, one time we had to start spelling backwards because she caught on the inflections and knew what we were spelling.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, we'll definitely have to watch Crystal Maze, because we love British television. We watch a lot of, like, quiz shows. We really like 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. I mean, we love the Big Fat Quiz whenever they do those, and we love QI, both when it was hosted by Stephen Fry, but also when it's hosted by Sandy. Sandy, my icon in this universe.
Torvig? Is that her last name?
I think Torvig. She's so great. I love Sandy. I always used to watch Nevermind the Buzzcocks. I loved that show. It was how I first was introduced to Noel Fielding and Phil Jupitus, because they were regular people. It's great.
Well, this didn't work out as I thought.
Oh no, what happened?
Just there's not enough room in that other.
Oh no.
So I'm going to have to use yet another container to move soup.
Oh no. Okay, let's see. Are you looking forward to rereading anything soon? I'd like to. I recently grabbed a copy of the final book in the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. What is it called? The Obelisk Gate, I think, is the last one. And I read No.
Since you're asking me.
I read the first book a couple of years ago, and it was amazing. Like, I loved it, but it was really complex, and so I haven't wanted to finish the series until I can read all 3 at once. And I already had the second book, and then this week I got the third book. So hopefully I'm going to be rereading the 5th season, which is the first book in the trilogy, so that I can read the second and third. I'd like to reread Call Down the Hawk, as previously mentioned. At some point with our movie channel, I want to be able to reread, like, a favorite book or a book that I haven't read in a while, and do a reading vlog, and then watch the film adaptation, especially really bad film adaptations, and then we'll discuss the movie on our movie channel. That might be a thing that happens. So those will be rereads. I want to reread The Hunger Games before the new book comes out. Those are some of the oldest books on my shelves. I've had my copies of the Hunger Games books since they were released. So it'll be fun to get back into those, because I only read them I think I read the first 2 twice, and I've only read Mockingjay once. So it'll be cool to reread those. Richard Iowati does Crystal Maze. Yes!
Yes!
Sold!
He's our man!
Sold! We watch his show Travel Man, which is not a quiz show, but we love it because of Richard Iowati.
Every time he's on Big Fat Quiz, it makes it so much better.
He improves Big Fat Quiz so much. Him and Noel Fielding are like the ultimate.
They're my OTP.
They are. I adore the 2 of them. Tuxvig is Sandy's last name.
No, it's Tormund.
It's Tormund.
Like the guy from
Game of Thrones. 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown is awesome. I agree, we play the game, so like whenever they're creating a word or trying to get an answer, we pause the show. We always play it with a writing utensil and a piece of paper. And so it takes us a lot longer to watch a show because we give ourselves unlimited time to come up with words and numbers, but we love 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown because it's funny, but we also get to play. The Broken Earth trilogy is my favorite. I love it so much. I can't wait. To read the whole thing.
I mean, technically.
Okay, listen. There's no need to be a dick.
There's no need to be that guy.
Have you ever read The Secret Life of Bees? I have not.
Bees?
Bees? There's even a question mark after bees?
Nice.
No, I've never read The Secret Life of Bees, and I haven't seen the movie adaptation either. Travel Man and Big Fat Quiz when Noel and Richard are on is so funny. Oh, did I freeze for a sec? Tormund, yeah, I do know the actor who played Tormund, has tested positive for coronavirus. I didn't know about that, which is
really sad.
Really sad. It's really, yeah. I've got to stop picking my face. Ugh.
Leave it on. Don't let them see you reptilian underskin.
No! I don't have reptilian underskin. Shh. Speaking of N.K. Jemisin, are you looking forward to The City We Became? Yes! Oh my god, I'm so excited. I requested a copy of it, but they didn't send it to me, and it makes sense. Like, it's a pretty big release, and so I don't think that they were sending out a lot of early copies or review copies. I've also never worked with Orbit as a publisher before, but I would really like to get a copy so that I can read it, because there was, like, the story that inspired it. Hi, Cora. The story that inspired or is based around The City We Became in How Long Till Black Future Month was amazing. So I'm really excited to read that. I love N.K. Jemisin.
Is that the one with the spaceship with the different levels?
No, I read that one.
Okay.
I finished reading that one. It's the one I was talking about where the city, like, big cities are alive, basically. They have living avatars, and there are monsters. Like, every big city is alive, and every living being that big must have an enemy, so...
Nice. Okay, yeah. I remember.
So, the story only had one protagonist. The book has 5. I think one for each of the 5 boroughs of New York City, that are, like, the avatars of the living city.
So like Newsies.
No, not like Newsies.
It's Brooklyn.
Let's see. What is a backlist book that you think you'd love, but honestly are not likely to read? Ooh. I don't know. But I think I would love... I mean, if we go really backlist, no, but I think I will read them. If we go really backlist, I have some Toni Morrison that I haven't read, but I really do think I'm likely to read those. I guess I have a couple of Sherlock Holmes books that I think I'd like because I've liked other Sherlock Holmes books, but I don't know when I'll get to them. Like, those are so low on my list of priorities that I'm not sure if I'll read them. We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson I think I'd enjoy, but I don't know when I would ever read it. Oh, good night. Moth Gender is leaving. Kirsten, thanks for chatting with us. Let's see. If Cora could bend an element, which would she be able to bend?
Food.
Food.
Always on the lookout for food.
She's doing her worried face, which I believe you can all see because Cora is in the shot, where she looks at me and then she looks at you like,
side eyes.
Which is my favorite thing that she does, because it's so cute. Yeah, you'd bend food, huh? Would you bend food? Oh, yes, that is your belly. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Stock's good. It's fatty, but it's good.
Yeah. We've been making chicken stock for, like a day. Now, when did we put the bones in there?
We put it in 3 p.m. yesterday.
3 p.m. yesterday. We started boiling some chicken bones from a rotisserie chicken, so we have a beautiful chicken stock that we are making chicken noodle soup in. So I'm very excited. It smells amazing in our apartment. It has all day because it just smells like chicken stock. Yes, N.K. Jemisin is making a whole novel out of that story, and I'm very excited. Currently buying Toni Morrison books one at a time and loving them so far. I totally believe that. They absolutely have room on your shelves, Robert. Like, it fits in perfectly with your collection. I can't believe I haven't read any Toni Morrison. I was supposed to read some in February, and I just didn't get the chance to. My sister just sent me Snapchats about some role that Jared Padalecki was in a movie, and I'll have to watch those later. But yeah, Toni Morrison. Like, last year was the first time I read Octavia E. Butler, and I really want to read more of her books. I was really hoping to continue to explore backlist Black women authors who write SFF. Or not even just SFF, just classic books by Black women, because I think that they are severely underrepresented in the books that we talk about. So, I'm working on my collection. I have Tar Baby by Toni Morrison, and I know it's not The Bluest Eye. I don't remember what it is.
The second Bluest Eye?
Yes, The Second Bluest Eye.
The kind of blue eye?
Cora is the embodiment of the side-eye emoji.
She is.
She is! Are you the side-eye emoji? Yes. Yes? Do you guys want to see something cute? She's gonna hate me for it, but watch.
Don't blow on her.
I'm gonna blow on her.
Don't do it. She'll leave you.
No, she's just gonna rub her face all over the blanket and look at me.
Once.
Okay.
Don't do it multiple times.
Okay.
She hates it so much.
I'm sorry.
You got your crusty bread all over my counter space.
First of your live streams for me. Oh, I'm glad you could join us. I've been in a historical fiction kick and have been reading the Eleanor of Aquitaine trilogy by Elizabeth Chadwick, and she was a bamf. I know that I've heard of that series, but I haven't read it. I feel that you need to know that YouTube flagged the comment, my cat does that too when I blow on her. YouTube deemed that inappropriate to the point that I had to approve it. YouTube, your dirty mind. We are talking about legit cats and breath. Octavia Butler's great, but Parable of the Sower, if you haven't read it yet, maybe leave it for a while. It's a bit too realistic, a dystopian for my comfort. Yeah, I feel like I have to delay a bunch of dystopian and apocalyptic books right now. Like, I usually recommend Station 11 so strongly, but I cannot in good conscience recommend that anyone read Station 11 right now. I was talking the other night about the fact that I'm wondering what's going to happen with the Station 11 adaptation, because it was in pre-production, and I'm just wondering if they're going to still go forward with adapting it, because it feels a little too
on the nose.
On the nose. A little too current. What is your hot take on the sequel to The Color Purple? I know that Robert is the person who introduced me to the fact that there is apparently a sequel to The Color Purple. I haven't read it yet. I don't know about it. Like, I wrote my honors thesis on The Color Purple, and I didn't know it existed. But,
You didn't know The Color Purple existed?
Oh, the sequel to The Color Purple. Thank you. So I don't have a hot take on it yet. I want to read it and form my own take on it, because The Color Purple is one of my favorite books ever. So I'm curious how I'll feel about the sequel. I just reread Station 11 because I'm an idiot. Yeah, I was thinking about rereading Station 11 and like a month ago, and I'm very glad that I didn't. I read Station 11 in January, just as this was all kicking off, and I had hiking anxiety for 2 weeks. Yes, The Color Purple does have a sequel. If you did not know that, you are not alone.
Hey, does The Color Purple have a sequel?
No, I don't think so. I don't think The Color Purple has a sequel.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh, I've seen so many people watching Contagion, and I'm like, how? I don't think my anxiety could take it right now. Yeah, I joked last night about us watching Contagion, but I didn't mean it seriously. I do not want to rewatch Contagion. We wound up rewatching Cabin in the Woods last night, because we wanted, like, a good comfort movie that we both know really well and love. So we rewatched Cabin in the Woods, and it remains a great movie.
An absolute unit of jam.
An absolute unit of... Did you say jam?
Yeah, because it's a jam.
Because it's a jam. Okay.
I guess an absolute unit of slap.
Sure, an absolute unit of slap. That's nothing. I literally just finished a book called Last Ones Left Alive because I'm an idiot too. Last Ones Left Alive would also be so stressful. Like, I don't foresee, zombies rising up, but... Still, the stress is real. Weirdly enough, I've been playing a plague game lately a lot to calm myself. I think because it's about defeating it and, like, triumph humanity in the face of it. That makes sense. I think, like, Station 11 scares me because not only is it way too close to what we're experiencing now, but there is, like, a very particular plot point about an airport and planes, and it just feels too scary and real. And, like, that book is set so long after a pandemic that I feel like it would stress me out. When we went to the store to get food, I was thinking about that book by Susan Beth Pfeffer. It's got the moon on the front. It's Life as We Knew It. Life as We Knew It is not the same kind of, like, end of the world situation. It's just about something happens, the moon moves a little closer to Earth.
Oh, no.
Yup.
That's terrible.
It's terrible. And when we were stocking up at the grocery store, like, Life as We Knew It gave me such legit anxiety that after I read it, even though I really liked the book, I had to get rid of it because I would never reread it. It was too stressful. But there's a bit very early on where the main character's mom comes back and she won't explain to her daughters what's going on. She just drives them to the grocery store and just keeps going in and buying as many cans as will fit in her cart and driving back to the car, unloading them, and they do it like 3 times. And it's stressful and scary. And I was easily thinking about that scene the other day. Because that was one of the most stressful and remarkable scenes in that book. Just hit close, but it's fine. The moon is not closer to Earth.
It's nothing terrible.
In terms of played games, Dishonored is A+.
Yeah, it is.
You played Dishonored?
Yeah. Dishonored's fun. You're basically like a Victorian era steampunk style world, and you've been given like mystical powers with which to overthrow what's going on after they hurt someone close to you.
Huh. An absolute unit of slap is a dad level misuse of youth slang.
Nuh-uh, it's lit AF.
It is not lit AF.
I think it's totes sus that you think my dad lingo is not lit.
Oh, God.
Literal.
I've been listening to The Vaccines and The Cure on repeat. I mean, that's fair. Both great bands. Well, I'm going to bed. It's 10 p.m. in Jersey, and I'm sleepy. It's been fun. Okay, thank you for joining us. It is late. I hope that this was a nice, soothing experience. I hope you get lots of sleep. I work in a supermarket, and that really is too close to home right now. Yeah. Hi! Yeah, you get 1 kiss. I will accept that 1 single kiss from you, okay? Okay?
Okay, as long as I get more.
No, you don't get more. You don't get more kisses.
I realize that me and Cora are like Kristoff and Sven. I talk for her.
You talk for her. Oh, is that your belly? Is that your belly? She's like, yes, it is my belly.
Very good, human.
You've identified my belly.
Humans are so dumb.
Are humans so stupid? Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. Even more belly? Even more belly?
Absolute unit of belly.
An absolute unit of belly. It's 2 a.m. here. Oh, dear. It's lunchtime in Australia. That tracks. Is it? Oh, hi. Australia is forward, so it's lunchtime the 18th in Australia? Is that correct? I think it is. I remember being very confused when I was in Australia last year, because I could never remember, like, which day it was here. You've been told to stop. To cease and desist.
I will not. I am totes amazeballs at my lingo use. I have street credentials.
Ew.
My homebodies will testify.
Oh, God. It's 3 a.m. in Germany. My sleep schedule is fucked. That's a mood.
Sleep what?
Sleep schedule?
Like a sketchy sleep? Like sketchy sleep?
Like sketchy sleep.
Sketchy sleep is.
It is Wednesday in Australia.
Is there anything we should look out for?
Yeah, what's going on Wednesdays? Are things better in Wednesday? No? Are things better in Wednesday? I love the way your ears pop up. It's my favorite thing. Is it better in Wednesday? Someone gif the cringe faces Cece made there. Yeah, I was making some pretty disgusted faces at your lingo. I don't think you could see because you were cutting the veg.
Oh. Speaking of lingo.
Cutting the veg.
Although that sounds like when a vegetarian farts, you know? Like a vegan, maybe?
Like when a vegan farts, they wouldn't cut the cheese, they'd cut the veg. I hate that. I hate that. Not only is it 2 a.m., I've been awake since 4 a.m. yesterday. No, God! You have to sleep! I may not be a spokesperson for a healthy sleep schedule, but sleep must be had. Wednesday is good for dogs, not so good for people. I don't think Bryan can hear me. I think he's giving vegetables to the rabbit.
It was.
Oh, okay. Wednesday is good for dogs, not so good for people, is the word from Australia.
Alright. Let's just sleep through it.
Let's just sleep through it. Do you watch the Bon Appetit Test Kitchen? We do.
Yes.
We only watch Gourmet Makes. We don't really watch any of the other series. Like, we love Brad, but I feel like Brad would be overwhelming.
I did recently watch their Without a Recipe.
Yeah, their Without a Recipe was fun, because that was everybody. I think that's what I like, is I like everyone together, or I'd like just Claire.
Yeah.
Brad has so much chaotic energy. Like, if I watched his Everything is Alive videos, I feel like I'd feel when we watch William Osmond's videos, where you're like, who is the adult here? Someone needs to come in and supervise what's happening, because children are operating heavy machinery.
Exactly that.
If someone did GIF the faces that I made, you could become a meme like your dad. Whoa! That is not my greatest aspiration.
That's the dream.
It is not. It is not the dream. It is not the dream, because there are some channels that you just watch and you're randomly watching them, and one of them will, like, quote my dad or include a clip of my dad, and I'm never prepped for that.
You're like, oh, there's my father.
Oh, there's my dad.
Being used in popular culture.
Why? That should come with a warning. Warning, Cece, we're about to include a clip of your father in 1989. No.
Good year for 4-year-olds.
For 4-year-olds? Oh, that's right, you were 4. I didn't exist. It would be a fun family tradition. Would it? It's unsettling enough to have the one. I don't know if I need to have that too. I completely forgot you have non-cat dog friends. What's the bunny's name? The bunny's name is Crypto. He's a very old bunny. A very old gentleman. But yeah, his name is Crypto. Crypto the Super Bunny. Yet another nerdy name. My dad is a meme. Yeah, my dad is a meme. If you look up, oh my god, Troll 2, that's my dad. It's a line from a, what is...
Quote the line.
They're eating her, and then they're going to eat me. Oh my god! It's my dad. Troll 2 is a really terrible movie. It is up there with Room as far as being the best, worst movies. People usually say Troll 2 or Room. And my dad's in it. Which is weird.
You should really say The Room, because I bet there's some sweet indie film out there called Room that's about, like, overpopulation.
It's not. Room is the movie with your cousin.
Yeah.
So no, it would be...
It's not that one.
It's The Room.
It's not my cousin's film.
Let's see. Troll 2 was such a fun time to be had with friends to make fun of it. Yeah, it's so weird because, like, I want to have that experience, and I have had that experience of watching Troll 2 with friends. It's just very unsettling because not only is it my dad who has, like, the most iconic part of the movie, but, like, I know all of the people in the movie, so it's just weird because the little boy is, like, you know, grown up now, and he made a documentary about Troll 2, and so watching him be weird as a child is unsettling, because I know him, he's just a dude, and the guy who plays the dad, George, is like the nicest man you'll ever meet.
He does seem like that.
He is, he's the nicest man in the universe, George Hardy, so it's just weird, because I know people.
It also seems like he's the dad version of Flash Gordon. So, like, the fact that you say he's nicest in the universe.
Yeah. Yes, the stream is still going, Shadow. You know what? Sometimes you just need a day where everyone can come and go and chat and de-stress. We'll probably be wrapping up eventually, but...
Probably eventually.
Probably eventually. No, it's gonna keep going forever.
Never-ending stream.
Let's see, I just looked it up, and that is disgusting. Holy shit. Yeah, it's super gross, isn't it?
Never-ending stream.
But yeah, it is a weird experience. There was actually a really cool thing that, oh yeah, it was like a reunion. Basically, when I was in junior high, that's when Troll 2 kind of came back as a movie, and, so the cast went to a bunch of indie theaters and did showings and then Q&As afterwards. And my dad went to Europe to do a bunch of screenings, and that's when they were filming the Troll 2 documentary called Best Worst Movie. And so there was a reunion in the city the movie was filmed in, Morgan, Utah. And all of the cast got together, and people came in cosplay, and two people who played the original goblins in Troll 2. If you don't know, there are no trolls in Troll 2. It has nothing to do with that. It's about goblins. But two people who played original goblins showed up with their goblin masks from the movie.
That's really cool.
Yeah, there was also a game that was really fun where there was a version of my dad, and people got spears, and it was stick the spear in the Arnold, and so I got to throw a spear at a replica of my dad.
That's cool.
I was 13, and that was the weirdest experience of my life. So yeah, it's interesting. Well, I have to go. Gotta watch The Luck of the Irish with my younger siblings as per tradition. Want to say I really enjoy this distraction and appreciate it greatly. The Luck of the Irish, fun fact, was filmed in Ogden, Utah, and there is a scene where they go to an amusement park. It is Lagoon Amusement Park, which is the park I grew up going to, and there is a scene where a guy throws corned beef and cabbage out of a camper while they're driving, and that is a man that my parents went to school with when they were getting their musical theater degrees. My dad knows a bunch of people in the Utah film community, so if there's ever anything filmed in Utah, I've probably had, like, a dinner with them or something. It's very strange. When the aliens arrive, this stream will still be going. I was in a Celtic reenactment group, and we had a best of bad movies night in a medieval speakeasy, because all modern technology is banned. I was about to say, the experience sounded traumatizing, but it sounds like you quite enjoyed it. Yeah, it was traumatizing, like, but...
Because you were a teenager.
Because I was a teenager. You know, when you're a teenager, you have weird pent-up rage, so it was mostly just weird, but I got over it. Yes, my parents, well, my mom doesn't have a musical theater degree. She has a, business of theater degree. Like, she got a business degree and her minor was in theater. And my dad did get an acting degree, and they met. They didn't meet doing, musical theater stuff, but that's where they, like, fell in love. They knew each other in, like, high school through friends, but they, like... Huh? Yeah, through the television show Friends. No. But they, like, actually got to know each other doing stage plays together at college. So, because of that, you know, a lot of people in Utah got degrees from the same place, so my parents know a bunch of them. Except for the first troll film, none of the sequels have any trolls in them, and that town is called Nilbog, and that the town is called Nilbog is still ingrained in my memory. Yeah, I have a shirt, Nilbog, spoilers, is goblin spelled backwards, and I still have a t-shirt somewhere that says Nilbog on the front and goblin on the back that I got at that event, the big Troll 2 thing. Apropos of nothing, has anyone started journaling lately? I'm starting a Corona diary as of today for historical record. I haven't been, I probably should be. Like, I'm so sporadic on journaling. I always go in and out of it, but I should probably be keeping a record. It would be useful. Meh.
I just have never been into journaling, and it's because I'm a selfish person.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, my journal fell off so much that I've only gotten back into it when, like, traumatic life events have happened, basically. It's a very sad place. If you go to my journal, it makes it seem like my life is made up of only things that have traumatized me, but that is not the case. It's just because when I'm going through stuff, I like to write about it. So, at this point, I should probably add this to the list.
Live stream? That's so mean.
Uh-huh.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. You shouldn't make the live stream something traumatic.
I saw somewhere that the true way to go is to write out scraps of paper with day X of quarantine to hide around your house so players can get all the collectibles achievements.
Yes.
Yes. I love that. Oh. Hey. She is snuggling.
Yeah?
Yes. She's curled right up against me.
She could be wondering why we're talking so much.
She's probably wondering why we're talking so much. She's a comfort doggo. She likes to make sure her humans are okay. I think someone asked a while ago what I was currently reading. I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream, but this has been going for my entire life, so... I'm currently reading Remembrance by Rita Woods, I Know You Know Who I Am by Peter Kispert, and The Only Child by Mai So. So, that's what I'm currently reading. They are all 2020 releases. Yes. They're all 2020 releases that came out in February that I'm catching up on. Let's see. I saw a tweet today from a historian urging people to start diaries, document what's closing, document what's on the news, how your community is reacting. It might be needed in 10 to 20 plus years' time. Maybe that makes sense. I think that it will be a valuable thing. What? Are you biting your knee? Does it itch? Here.
She's an itchy bitch.
She is an itchy bitch. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I can hear kids playing outside. I wonder if they're practicing social distancing. I hope they're playing 6 feet apart. Doubtful. A couple of days ago, we had our blinds open, which we don't do very often, and we saw this kid with a plastic ninja sword in each hand, Naruto run across the park. Which was fucking iconic of him.
And then his friend showed up with a soccer ball, and so he gave him one of the swords so they could play soccer together.
Yeah, they were playing soccer together, but each of them still had a plastic sword in their hand.
For ninja soccer.
It's interesting that, like, so much of what people use journaling for is now on the internet, Twitter, live streams, and such. I wonder how future historians will react to that. Yeah, I wonder that sometimes. It's always weird because, like, it's like we're living in that version of, what would it be like to live through a major historical event? And obviously, people have had that experience, but, like, extended historical events of being like, oh, this is gonna be in a history book. That's weird. It's gonna be weird to see how future historians handle keeping histories when everything is online. Let's see. Have you read anything by Hong Kong? I just started The Vegetarian and it's solid so far. I haven't. I've been curious about reading The Vegetarian. I feel like there was another book by that author that's like new or that I'd heard about. I'm looking it up because my brain doesn't remember. The Vegetarian was tentatively on my list because I've heard pretty good things about it. What is this? This is also on my to-read list, and it is by this author. Other editions. Oh, The White Book. The White Book was published in English last year, and I also have that on my list by her that I want to read. Let's see. My library is closed, so I only have my last haul from there and Libby. Yeah, we just took some graphic novels back to the library because I'm anticipating it being closed down. But I'll still have Overdrive. But I have so many books of my own that it's okay. I was inadvertently stocking up for a long winter over the past 6 months when I just keep buying books. There's a lot of men objectifying lusting over women in The Vegetarian, if that's something you'd rather avoid. It's not something personally I like to avoid. I'm interested in that. A lot of people, I really value and respect this about the people who watch my videos. A lot of people warn me about triggers and things that are going to be happening in books I'm interested in reading that might be upsetting to people, and it's really valuable to me, not because I have triggers and things I don't like reading about, but because it helps me to better educate people who are watching my channel. If I know that a book has that kind of triggering content, then if I'm ever talking about it, I can be like, oh, I remember hearing this. I should warn people so that I am recommending and discussing, like, with awareness. Cora, that's not helpful. Because I think that is, like, something I really strive to do, is I try to prepare people going into anything that they want to read, knowing that there is going to be content that they might not want to read. So I really appreciate that about the community of people who watch my videos. They always let me know about that kind of thing. I think that's something I talked about my last patron live stream. I do a live stream for my patrons every month, just for patrons of the $3 or higher level, and I was talking about trigger warnings and how they're helpful to me as a reviewer so that I can let people know what's going on. Just wanted to get graphic novels because they suck to read electronically. Yeah, I get that. I will be sad that I won't have easy access to a bunch of the comics that are available at my library right now. I did just get some new comics and graphic novels, so hopefully I can read those. But I far and away prefer reading comics and graphic novels from the library because they can be so expensive, and so it's just easier to be able to rent them. I feel like my makeup is melting off. I'm probably going to have to wrap this up in a couple of minutes. My voice is getting tired and I want to be able to help with dinner.
Too late.
Too late?
No, I'm just kidding.
But I just wanted to say, like, thank you to all of you for watching, especially if you've been watching this whole time. This was like 3.5 hours. If you've been watching this whole time, wow, good on you. Thank you for being here. Thank you to everyone who watched this live stream. I just wanted this to be a place where we could be, like, chill for a bit, be online, and have it not be as stressful. So I hope maybe this was a mellow hangout sesh, especially since we're socially distancing, or some people are socially distancing or in quarantine. I hope that this felt kind of like hanging out with a human being. I know that it helped me feel like I'm still connecting with other humans, which is, you know, something that I really need. I might be doing some kind of live stream on Instagram tomorrow or a couple days from now. I want to do like a little, like something somewhat like this, a little different. I want to be able to, here's my idea. I want people to send in, like, numbers while I'm live streaming on Instagram that correspond to shelves on my bookshelves so that I can grab a book off the shelf and just, like, read you the first paragraph or the first line of that book. I feel like that would be somewhat soothing. I've always been soothed by people reading aloud, but also it gives you a little look into a book, and maybe you're interested in that.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
That sounds fun?
Yeah.
So, if you want to watch movie content and TV show content, you should go watch our movie channel, What the Film. It is linked in the description of this live show. It is very much like this, in that it's me and Bryan hanging out and talking about stuff we love. So if this was soothing, you will probably like our movie channel. Plus, they're fun and funny, and we work really hard on them, so it would be great if you went and watched our movie channel. Yeah, thank you all so much. It seems like people liked this. Take a look, it's in a book, Reading Rainbow. I was totally referencing that.
just bye, everyone. Love you. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Hi, Cora. Good girl. Bye.
Bye. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Follow me on other social stuff if you want more soothing content. Follow the movie channel, What the Film. Yes?
Oh, no, I'm ready.
You're getting ready. You're getting ready to do the bye, okay. And I hope that I will see you hanging out online other places. If you have other ideas for ways I can make online spaces cheerier, then let me know. I want to incorporate them. Use that hashtag that I mentioned on Twitter, lit_community_joy, if you want to spread some stuff. And yeah, thanks all so much.
Bye.